And probably no one's watching yet, so it's fine. It's okay. Let me just switch the name of the stream because it says that there here be dragons, dinosaurs. But that's not true.
I mean, it was true a couple sessions ago.
You mean yesterday?
No, I
Oh,
meant in
well,
Harper's Tale a
yeah.
couple sessions ago.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Yeah, I know, and I'm bitter about it.
Alright, see, this is the problem when I'm the only one doing everything. Alright, cool. Okay, now we're good. Um... Alright, hi everyone, welcome to Midgardia RPG. My name is Hikaru, and we're here with Harper's Tale, our Extra Life campaign for the year. We're supporting the Stollery Children's Hospital from Alberta, and we have so far raised $560. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 before Harper's Tale is done.
Really?
What more do I have to say? Before we begin, I would like to give a brief thank you to our sponsors. We are sponsored by Roll20, which is the virtual tabletop solution that we use for all our games, including this one. You can make an account for free. It's got a lot of features, including neat stuff like Charactermancer, which helps make characters really fast. And but D&D isn't the only thing you can play there. You can play pretty much any tabletop thing you can think of, even if it's not technically a RPG tabletop. There's actually games like Fiasco, and I'm pretty sure I've seen like Solitaire and like Checkers modules for Roll20, which is pretty cool. So if you want to play games with your friends and family, then and can't see them in person, this is the perfect way to do it. So check it out. Make an account. It's free. And yeah, thanks for the sponsorship. Show, why don't you start with introductions?
Okay, hi, my name is Sho. I'm currently playing Aodhan O'Connor, a Way of the Flying Dagger Lotus and Halfling Monk.
And me.
Hi, I'm Murray. I'm playing Lilita, the Satyr Rogue Sorcerer, and she is fluffy.
Very, very
oh my
fluffy.
God, she's so fluffy.
Show insisted on me making avatars for people, which I forgot for Sam, but since
Yes.
Lilita is probably going to be more than one session anyways, made sure to actually get a proper avatar for her. And God, she's so cute. All right, Show, what's happened? What's happened
Oh,
so
good
far?
Lord. What has happened so far? Let's see. Well, wound up going into the garden and helping the gardener defend the what? Who did you finally put Craig in?
Yep, totally
Okay.
forgot.
And had the gardener help us, or helped the gardener defend the flowers that we were looking for, which was the first ingredient, from a bunch of gremlins and a very, very confused, charmed giant ape. After that, we were sent towards Prattle Creek for the next ingredient, which was not given to me. So that's all I got.
Yeah. So what happened was when you came back with the ingredient to the Raven's hut, um, Cygnus was there, and he had been sent by Master Dang with the next ingredient for the medicine needed to help Master Dang's apprentice that had been affected by one of the magical illnesses that have been popping up here and there. And the ingredient you need is, drumroll while I scroll,
I'm not doing it.
E-taupe.
E-taupe. How do you spell that?
E-taupe. um he He says Signa says he's gotten a couple of new spells, had some understanding with Master Deng, and will be accompanying you there because apparently in Prattle Creek there is some kind of sickness happening, and the people from Prattle Creek have been asking for aid, so he wants to go check that out. And your friends from the Grove, the sisters, are going to head back to the Grove with the ingredients that Grace needed to help the people there recover from the sickness that they had endured.
Okay.
So Grace and
Rose
leave
and Apollo.
with Apollo back to Grove. Sir Cheddar, of course, stays with you as you
the goodest boy
travel to Prattle Creek.
Excellent, excellent.
On the way there, you happen upon someone else who's heading to Prattle Creek, also having heard about some kind of sickness and some weird stuff going on. Apparently even cats have gone missing.
What?
Another tiny, fluffy, hooved character that you meet on the road.
Oh man. Well, as soon as we see her, I guess I will just kind of wave and be like, "Hi, I'm Aodhan."
Hi. I'm Lilita.
Nice to meet you. We are just headed to Prattle Creek. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and we're supposed to. Well, we're looking for an ingredient, but I guess while we're there, we can also help.
Help with which?
Apparently, there's a sickness there, and we've got a cleric who is fairly versed in healing.
Cygnus kind of
That's
waves.
always good.
Well, where are you headed to?
Wherever the wind brings me.
Ooh.
Sir,
You want a couple travel
I just sort of
companions?
wander.
Ah,
Is that a puppy?
yes it is. Sir Cheddar is the goodest boy.
Sir Cheddar's like, hi. I'm traveling with Aodhan because Aodhan gets into some pretty cool situations, and I like cool situations. So I'm accompanying.
Are you a familiar too?
No, I'm a Fey Korgam from the Feywild.
Ah.
My people are always like this.
Sir Cheddar's also one of the coolest casters I've ever met.
He kind of puffs up.
Oh yes. I said that exactly for that reason.
From snowy areas? Do you know how to make snow forts?
No, I don't. That would be cool though. No, I'm not from snowy areas, as far as I know. Just Feywildy areas.
There's no snow in the Feywild?
Well, you want to stay out of the snowy area, to be fair. It's tends to be more of the unseelie areas that have snow, and those guys are kind of evil. Or they're not very nice. Not evil, just not nice.
I was gonna say, the people from the Sealy courts are also kind of.
I mean, yes.
The courts in general, you probably want to avoid.
But like the Sealy are more mischievous. And then the unseelie are more like they like to play bad tricks that tend to hurt people. But I used to serve a fairy from the Sealy court and I lost them. So I was kind of floundering on what to do because, you know, a night without someone to be with is kind of pointless, isn't it? So I came to the material plane and then I met Aodhan, and so now I follow and help Aodhan.
And Aodhan kind of puffs up, puts his hands on his hips.
I hit the wrong lever, and then there's an explosion. Now I'm me.
Oh. Does this happen often with magic? I feel like this happens often with magic.
No, the grumpy old man pointed the wrong lever, I think, and then blamed me for it, and then vanished.
Lovely.
Well, that serves him right. You know, magic can be a bit unpredictable.
I'm just gonna give Sir Cheddar a look like, well, duh.
Sometimes things happen to me too. I never turned into a satyr, but I did once grow a long beard of feathers. It was very weird.
Did you turn into a potted plant?
No.
I'd like to insight Sir Cheddar to see if they're fibbing a bit. Because...
Give me an insight check.
18.
Where's Sir Cheddar's sheet?
I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh my god!
You get the distinct feeling that maybe he has turned into a pot. And doesn't want to admit it.
I'm just going to kind of point in the general direction of Sir Cheddar, like, just not really pointing, but pretending. And I'm going to make a couple flowers bloom in Sir Cheddar's hat. Because why not?
I don't think he notices that.
Really? He doesn't notice the scent of flowers in his hat? Or around his hat?
Not immediately. I mean, you guys are on the road. There's probably flowers around here. It's fine. Oh, it's fine.
I'm gonna just keep on having flowers bloom until he does notice. Yes? Hey, I mean, he should be used to people playing mischievous little tricks because he was a member of the Sealy Court at some point.
Absolutely.
Which he totally didn't say before.
Cygnus, well, you didn't ask. Cygnus is like, well, we should keep going Prattle Creek. And just walking along. Eventually, there's enough flowers on the hat that, like, Sir Cheddar starts to sneeze. And sneezes enough till the hat goes off. Falls on the floor and looks at it. Looks at Aodhan.
I'm looking very, very innocent right now, or at least trying to. But I'm very much smirking.
You know, but why? Why the flowers?
I like flowers.
He like grabs the hat by the rim and starts shaking it to shake the flowers off. Just flowers everywhere.
And besides, that's one of the only magic things I can do.
Yeah, you seem to like doing that.
I mean, it's useful.
Do you do magic, Lilita?
I am magic incarnate. Sort of.
Sort of.
Was less so now, but still fairy magic.
I understand that feeling. Sometimes I sneeze and magic happens. So maybe someone shouldn't be making me sneeze so much.
I mean, it might be funny.
Maybe next time you're the one that turns into a potted plant. I mean, not that I've ever turned into a potted plant, but
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you haven't. And then I'm just gonna give this disbelieving look.
as you're approaching the edge of the cultivated farmland that surrounds Prattle Creek, and quite without warning, as you're walking down and bantering back and forth, you hear a loud and drawn out yowl that comes from behind a nearby hedgerow that I will not do myself, or else my
Please
cat here
don't.
is going to be like, what's going on here? This is quickly followed by a violent shaking of shrubs and a cacophony of cat-like snarls and growls.
Okay, I'm gonna palm a couple daggers, and then just kind of scoot a little closer. And I'm gonna look at Sir Cheddar and be like, maybe we should try talking to it?
Talking can be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, perhaps.
I'd rather talk than fight.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We don't really have time for ritual. I'm going to twin spell speak with animals. Can I twin spell speak with animals? Yes, I can. Wait, no, it has a range of self.
It's
Damn
range
it!
self.
All right, no twin spell. He just casts
It's
speak
fine.
with animals. It's fine.
I mean, we're at the point where I absolutely happily will allow Sir Cheddar to translate for me if I need to talk.
All right, so you approach the bush, and Sir Cheddar approaches as well, ears perked, and you hear a loud ripping sound as a black cat goes tumbling backwards from the hole, slams into Sir Cheddar, who is approaching, and they both fall
no.
back from a hole in the ground. And the cat is holding a piece of fabric in its teeth.
What?
After a moment, he like sits up, kind of gets off of Sir Cheddar, spits out the brown fabric, and then casually starts to groom itself.
What?
And then the
I'm gonna.
cat turns his yellow, judging eyes upon you.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure to have a hand extended with some dried meat.
Well, just to observe your interactions.
Just, I'm not gonna like force it on it, but I am gonna hold it, see if it's interested.
Cat kind of sniffs at it a bit, and Sir Cheddar kind of starts. It's really weird to see a dog meowing, but he starts meowing at the cat.
Oh my god.
And the cat just looks like kind of offended that this dog is speaking cat.
I mean,
But then it walks over to a nearby burlap bag and tugs it open, and inside you see 6 small meowing cats.
oh no. I'm
Kittens.
gonna reach into my satchel and make sure that I have enough dried meat. Listen, priorities, okay?
As you look out for the dried meat, and you look up and you see another female calico cat coming limping forward and
Oh no.
towards the kittens.
Oh no. I'm gonna look at Sir Cheddar or Cygnus and be like, help her? If you didn't think that Aodhan would be this into helping animals, you don't know Aodhan by now.
I suppose I can cure wounds. Cygnus kind of approaches, and the cat kind of shies away, and then Sir Cheddar kind of tells them that he's gonna help, so that they calm down. And Cygnus casts a cure wounds to help the cat.
Whoa.
Wow.
He likes
Okay.
cats. He
Apparently,
very much likes cats.
he does not want to see injured cats.
Good. As it should be.
He checks the wounds themselves as he goes to heal. Oh, you're not training with medicine. Oh, that's too bad.
Well, hold on. Hold on. I was gonna aid.
Oh.
see if you.
This
Oh,
is
that's
why I
fine.
gave you control of the NPCs.
Well, anyway, you were the
Okay,
one who just rolled
well,
the check before I could even.
he's she has some scratches and cuts, but I and had a broken leg until I healed it.
No.
She should be fine now. Um,
You might
the
want to.
black cat kind of approaches the mother cat and kind of gives her a comforting lick, and then he looks up at you guys, kind of like expectantly.
I'm gonna ask Sir Cheddar to ask what happened, and then kind of sneak a couple of the pieces of dried meat toward the cats. Just kind of.
The black cat does not take any, but the mother does kind of like help feed some of it to the kittens as
Oh,
she's
that's
like
fine.
grooming them and making sure they're all okay.
That's fine. Also, I will
Of
point out that it's dried fish.
course it is.
Uh-huh.
Your
Listen.
your eternal bag of dried meats,
Hey,
assortment
I'm
of
an
meats.
outlander. I know how to scavenge for food. I was taught by my father, who is a
Sir,
hunter.
Sir Cheddar turns to you and goes, the black cat is one of the Dreamland cats.
Oh no.
He says he's here to help the cats of Burrowwood. It seems like there's been a lot of missing cats or cats gone missing, and he saw someone taking this group away. Stop them from taking the kittens, at least.
Mm-hmm. Does he know what they look like? Maybe
He
we can at least
didn't.
keep an eye out.
It was a small creature. Um, went
Does it
down
look
that
like a gremlin?
hole. I don't know. Um, I'm not very good at figuring out tracks. Or any of you?
I mean, I can try. I'm more good at not getting lost, generally.
I'm okay at tracking.
It would be a nature check for this.
Nature or survival?
Nature.
Oh, well, I'm not so good at that. Alright, I mean, I can try if somebody's willing to help.
I will reach over and cast guidance on you.
Ooh.
You just sort of get you just sort of get a rush of adrenaline.
I probably shiver a little bit, because I'm not used to that. Right. Oh no. Would you be helping as well, or just casting
Yeah.
guidance? Okay. Well, I mean, that's better. Let me roll a d4. 13.
Okay. You can see that there's some tracks around the hole. You can't quite tell what creature it is, but there's small footprints, kind of like
Are they
more.
about the same size as the gremlin footprints?
I'd say bigger.
Okay.
And have like slight claw marks on the front part.
Oh. Interesting.
They look almost humanoid, if not for the claw marks.
Do they look bigger or smaller than goblin footprints?
About the size of goblin footprints. Goblin or halfling or like a small creature, basically.
Excuse? My feet do not look like that. I'm a bit offended by that. Well, I guess there's more work here than I expected us to have. So, the ingredient, the sickness, and the catnapper. I'm gonna look at Cygnus and Sir Cheddar and be like, I guess we're gonna be here for a little while, and Lilita as well.
Well, we can't stand for catnappers. He turns and thanks the black cat, who kind of gives Sir Cheddar a nod and turns to help the mother with the kittens. Just like dragging the sack towards the woods.
When you see her again, tell Delaney we said hi.
It kind of stops and growls, and then continues on its
those cats. Anyway.
All right.
I guess we're going further into the area. Oh shit. What kind of sickness did people say that this village was having?
You're not sure. It was some kind of sickness. You haven't
Okay.
been quite told.
Alright. Well, I guess we can look around and see who's about.
All right. So, as you're approaching from the east side, so down this pathway, you see a bright green wagon that sits on the side of the road, and along its side, written in bold gilded letters, it reads, "Prof. Pyrite's Moonlight Elixir." And you see 3 excited halflings gaze up at a small window surrounded by bright red shutters. In the window, you can see the handsome face of a man with a pointed dark beard and a dazzling smile. Once their business is concluded, the happy halflings make their way home, each of them carrying at least 1 bottle of the professor's elixir. "Greetings, my friends," he turns to you guys. "Perhaps I can interest you in a bottle of my miraculous moonlight elixir. It's a surefire remedy for colds, persistent coughs, headaches, painful itches, and more."
I think we're okay at the moment, but we'll be here for a while, so we might come back.
My brows will furrow.
Oh.
How much is your panacea?
That's a good question.
Does it look like this guy is a scam? Because
What? No, he's selling a good moonlight elixir.
This whole thing reeks of con artist. Yeah, can I help you?
Would you know? The module doesn't tell me.
Of course not.
Hold on, maybe it's inexplicably somewhere else. No, of course not. We're gonna go with 1 silver per bottle.
Huh.
I'll just sort of look at Aodhan.
Would you like one?
And as I turn, I'll use prestidigitation to give sort of cute little sparkles around me.
I'm just gonna look at Lilita and be like, really? Yeah, already? I mean,
I'll pay you back once I get money.
oh god, he definitely is a con artist. Listen, everything about that image is like, oh. And he knows it too.
There's reasons.
Okay. And I'm gonna look at him. We'll take 2.
2 it is. He brings out 2 bottles, puts them on the like area in front of him. That would be 2 silver.
I'll put the 2 silver down. And then I'll kind of give him a little bit of a sly look. And I'll be like, so I've heard that there was a bit of a sickness going around. Have you heard anything else about it?
Well, I have heard. It's very unfortunate, really. Quite serious business, I'm sure.
Has anybody told you of the symptoms?
Seems like a complication cold. Which, I mean, it's good for my business, I suppose, but it's always bad to hear that there's such things. But my arrival couldn't have been timed better. My elixir has been helping the people here treat their sickness and all their problems.
Car, I'd like to insight him and see if he's more involved in this sickness or just taking advantage of it.
Okay.
Would I be able to assist in watching?
Not for insights.
Okay, so then would I be able to do my own?
Yes. There's a bigger.
Regardless, I don't trust this guy.
Yeah, no, he seems worried. Like he seems genuinely worried about um the whole
I
idea
mean,
of there being sick people in the village.
I, yeah, I've been warned that generally people who arrive in places that conveniently are afflicted by things that they sell remedies for generally tend to be con artists and scammers. So I don't believe him one way or another. Hmm.
Uh, does his body action sort of respond to any of the other questions that we've asked so far in sort of any sort of defensive way?
Um, Not that you can tell. No, he just seems like you can tell he's trying to his best to mask the fact that yeah, this is good for business that there is a sickness, but also that he is worried about what is happening um, in the town. But he does
Okay.
seem like genuinely um,
Concerned.
happy that he's here to help.
We'll we'll have Cygnus take a whiff of this potion or this panacea and see if it's actually legit or not later. That's actually
Okay.
why I bought the second one. But also so that he'd be more inclined to answer questions if we asked him. Um, I'm gonna look at him and be like, "Do you know if anybody else has been trying to figure this out, or if there's somebody who's in charge who we might go and see? We've got
uh,
somebody who might be able to help."
hmm. Now that you mention it, I did hear that there was some kind of meeting happening in the town hall.
All right. Well, I guess we've got to go there, and I'm gonna look at the rest for confirmation.
Okay.
Information's always good to work with.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, we're gonna be here for a little while, so we'll probably see you again. And then I'm just gonna wave and start walking.
Okay.
I'll follow. Just sort of take a sort of side eye back and then just sort of catch up.
When you look back, Lilita, you notice that there's this like small kind of rat-like creature with like a weird tentacly looking nose, kind of think star-nosed mole. Um, Kind of peering at you from behind the cart,
What?
and then he just like disappears again.
Oops. Oh, I.
Yes,
I.
show.
Um. I wish I had said that Aodhan had looked back too, but he didn't. Because what are the chances that the cats of Ulthar and the Zoogs are both here?
I'll just sort of pop or catch up. Thank you. There is additional information that I just saw. They
Oh,
have they have like a star-nosed mole thing.
what? I'm gonna like stop, find a twig, and Karu, is this ground just dirt?
Yeah, it's dirt.
Okay.
This is a
I'm
small
gonna draw an
village.
approximation of what a Zoog looks like. Does it look like that?
Could I use minor illusion to create the image of what I saw?
Yes.
How close are they to Aiden's picture?
Pretty close.
Aiden's gonna frown and be like, "What are the chances that both of the creatures that I just encountered a while back and helped are here? The cat that we saw was a cat of Ulthar, and that guy that you saw was a Zoog. They had been at odds with each other, and we helped settle their dispute."
Do the Zoogie things eat cats?
Not that I'm aware of. Hey, Karu, thinking
Yes.
back on it, did those footprints look like what I had seen of the Zoogs when I was tracking them?
Mm, now that you've been told that there's a Zoog and you think about it, it kind of does match.
I'm gonna frown and be like, if they start this stuff again, I'm gonna be really mad at them. Start setting traps for them, see how they like it. I'm also very concerned at the fact that both those creatures who are actually native to the Feywild are here. And I will probably mention it to Lilita and be like, it's really weird, and I don't like it. There are too many coincidences, and I...
They found a lever of fate and found their way here then?
I mean, they probably could have gotten out of the forest, because the forest went into the Feywild, so it's not likely that they couldn't have left it.
Sir
Maybe they
Cheddar
did.
speaks up and goes, "Well, technically they're in the Dreamlands. It's part of the Feywild, and it seems to bleed into the area of one area of the forest, so they can traverse pretty easily in and out of the Dreamlands. We even met a unicorn,
Yep,
alicorn,
alicorn. Winged.
alicorn, who lived there.
Yep,
So
yep.
they could travel, I suppose." You all travel towards the center of the town and near the building that's marked 8 on the map. You see a group of halfling children standing around, and when they see you, one of the boys rushes into the building. A few seconds later, the double doors of the town hall open wide as several halflings pour out, talking all at once, welcoming you. It's kind of hard to tell what they're saying because everyone is talking at the same time. After a
So
moment,
it's excited halfling speech.
yeah, excited halflings.
I'm going to respond in kind.
After a moment, one of the halfling males steps in front of the group and kind of motions for everyone to quiet down. Turns to you and goes, "My name is Gorder Bolger. I'm the sheriff here in Burrowwood. Have you come to help us?"
With the sickness? Yep.
"Excellent! Perfect timing then. Come inside. We were just about to get some food and drink."
All right, I will start walking in, and as I do, I will introduce myself.
Okay.
I'll follow and introduce myself as well.
Inside, there's about like 30 villagers and a lot of food.
Are they predominantly halfling?
Yes,
I'm not used to this. The Grove had maybe like 3
family.
halflings.
Yeah,
including my father. No, 4.
This is a halfling village. Everyone here is halfling.
That's real weird. And I'm looking a little bit overwhelmed.
Oh yes, they immediately see halfling and they're like pouring food on top of your plate, and it's just food upon food upon food.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
There's like homemade pies and both like shepherd's pie and things like that, and then you've got like plum pies and fresh baked bread.
Oh man,
they eat well.
Yep. yeah, I know, and so am I at the moment.
During all the eating, or more like between all the eating, they do give you some information. Apparently, this sickness started something like 6 days ago. And so far, there's 34 people that have come down with the sickness. Some have gotten better. Most haven't.
I'm going to ask a bit more about the symptoms, how they progress, if there's anything, if they have any particular like source where they get a lot of their water, or if they get a lot of their food.
When you mention water and food, one of the halflings goes, "Ha! Told you! It's the water! It's gotta be the water!"
I mean...
And another one's like, "No, it's the food! Oh yeah, you say that! Look at all the food we've got here!"
It depends. Is there something that the majority of the people who came down with all ate or drank that they had in common?
Well, we all partake in more or less the same food. I mean, besides the things we grow here, there's also the creek itself, so we eat a lot of fish from the creek. It's good fish. You want some?
I mean, I probably have a forkful of fish in my face right now.
Have some more.
Okay. Yeah, we had a problem back where I'm from. and it turned out that it was the well water.
But the creek is so big.
It might not be as much with that
We don't
because
have
it
a
was.
well here. We just get water
Mhm.
from the creek.
Yeah, it honestly with us was because that was our sole real source of water that pretty much everyone in the village used. So everyone in the village was affected by it just about. The only reason I wasn't was because I was off on a training trip and I had just come back.
Well, at least no one's. It doesn't seem to be contagious. They just come down with it, and then sometimes they get better. Kind of like a cold, but sometimes you get hit harder. And then you stop
Do
eating, and then well, if you stop eating, you don't survive for long.
mm-hmm. Did
Yeah.
many of them fall asleep, like, and not wake up?
No, lots of coughing though.
Mm.
Um, and the problem is we've been without magic healer since our previous healer died, passed of old age last winter.
Ah, well, we do have, and I'm gonna point back to Cygnus. He's a cleric. He could probably help more than us, but
You might want to go to see um, Nash or Grub. Start there. He's got a kid that's down with the sickness.
all right, where are they?
Down at the Grub farm, and they say down, but really they point out, and you see like a farm across the street, um, with a big like enclosure area.
Okay, and Kari, what was the sheriff's name again?
Um, Gordo Bulger.
Oh, good, I got it right.
Well, you have the lay of the town, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever you find, just let me know. If you need any
Will do.
supplies or anything, just ask Lutho. He's got the general store behind the main building.
Okay.
Um,
While we're in the area, we are also looking for. Kari, what is etope? Like, how do you describe it? Is it a type of plant? Is it a type of animal matter?
yeah,
Mineral?
I'm not sure actually.
Because well, I'll just describe etope, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Um, yeah, it doesn't really say what Etope is. I think it's just a made up thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm sure there's a description somewhere, but I'm having more and more issues with how things are set up in modules nowadays.
To be fair, sometimes people don't think about it that much.
Yeah, you
This is
just
why
happen to ask.
playtesting happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if they don't have any information on etope or where to find it, then I'll just look at the rest and be like, well, let's go to the grub farm.
Okay.
I am gonna keep an eye open to see if there's anything suspicious around as we go. Like anything that shouldn't be there, or, if there's any weird footprints in the dirt
Mhm.
that look familiar.
Okay. So after eating your fill,
Yeah, and probably taking a slice of plum pie for the road.
and once you have like finished questioning them, they start questioning you about like all your like where you come from and how's the grove and are the people there okay and were you able to help them and
And I will tell whatever I can without revealing too much about like the fact that it was somebody who was meddling.
mm-hmm. And while they do shower you with attention because you're a halfling, they are also very interested in your fluffy companion and
Mm-hmm.
ask Lilita about where you come from and how you came here and how do you have such fluffy fur? It's so pretty.
I take very good care of it. It's very soft. It's like silk. It's very nice. and
one
warm.
one of the younger girls kind of go, can I touch? Just a bit.
I'll hold out my arm.
She grabs your arm and kind of like shakes your hand, but like kind of pets the back of your hand a bit, and it's like, oh, it is. It's so soft.
Because like the lighter portion of the fur, or the longer lighter portion, is like silky. The
Mm-hmm.
darker portions that are more of a velvet.
Mm.
Hey, Karu.
Now
I'm
there's like a
surprised.
lineup of people who want to shake your hand. Sir Cheddar comes to your rescue and goes like, well, you should really go.
I'm surprised that people haven't been trying to pet Sir Cheddar. Or haven't gasped when they heard that Sir Cheddar could speak.
I mean, I think he was waylaid by the kids outside first. Comes in kind of ruffled and goes, we should leave.
Yeah. I'm also surprised that nobody has made any mention of the fact that I've got ridiculously bright hair.
I mean, there probably was mention.
I probably also would have. I'm guessing a lot of it was from the kids. I probably would have made sure to mention what berries to use and how long it lasts and what ones are better to actually like keep the color longer.
Mm-hmm.
While pretending not to notice any parents trying to get me to stop.
All right, so you leave and go towards the grub farm. Okay.
Does anyone follow?
Couple of the kids kind of peer at you. But nothing. No one seems to be like sneaking, following you, as far as you can tell.
I mean, okay. Halflings are either going to not care about being sneaky, or you probably won't see them that easily. There's really no in between. You either try or you don't.
Yeah, I just have a passive 17, so I'm not sure if that matters. As we're walking, I'll just sort of whisper, when we, thank you for the poetess. When we have a chance, I'd like to inspect it.
Yep, I'm gonna be giving one to Cygnus to take a look at too.
Yeah, I can try and, like, I have an alchemy kit with me, so I can try to figure out what's actually in it.
Okay.
Because it'd be very bad if it's just sugar water.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but at the same time, if it's something that actually works, that's pretty cheap. Only a silver for it. And
Well,
that's actually what
the price is what makes it very.
Yeah, makes it very makes me wary of it because.
Well, I've observed potion makers, and much of their materials cost in the tens to hundreds of gold. So for something to be for a potus to be
so cheap,
be in the silvers, when something like a standard potion that to revive your strength is within the 50 gold range,
is concerning. I mean, to be fair, it could just be an herbal medicine that's not really like magical. There are some of those like teas and stuff that help without actually having active magic to them or actually being real potions.
True, but knowing what the components are does help.
Yep.
To know if it is something like that.
Also, Kerr, I would like to pop the cork of the one that I bought and just kind of give it a sniff to see if it smells herbally.
Yes, it has a pretty strong, like, fruity smell to it.
Fruity?
Mm-hmm.
Do I recognize any of the fruits, the potential fruit scents to it? Or is it just like citrusy, or is it something?
It's kind of hard to tell. Especially if only you're just sniffing it. It just smells fruity. One other thing, because I forgot, they actually give me a lot of like different lines that the NPCs at the hallway say, and one of them did mention that um, two of the three people who've died had no symptoms except for fatigue, like they hadn't been sleeping well.
Oh.
And also, there was no fish to consume because they've been avoiding fish,
Okay.
pork, and dairy, just as a
Okay.
precaution.
Okay. Huh. I can't. Hey, as we were in that hall, I probably would have also asked when the guy in the wagon came.
Right. Pyrite and his two assistants showed up just before people started getting sick, so like a
That's even more
week and a
suspicious.
half ago. Bulger's been keeping his eye on Pyrite, but nothing suspicious so far. The other person that came to town recently was Tolan Belbin, a gnome peddler, but he arrived like 2 days ago.
How do you spell that?
Lutho has more to say about that guy. He's the owner of the general store. He's just he's no peddler. He's more a traveling junk merchant. Sooner he's gone, the better.
What do you think of that guy in the wagon? You said his name was Pirate Karu.
Pyrite, yeah.
It sounds like he came not long before the whole stuff happened. I mean, and even if he's not directly involved, that is still coincidental.
It's true, and that's why the sheriff's been keeping an eye on him. But he hasn't done anything suspicious. He's just selling his potions.
I'm gonna ask if there was anything else that was weird that people had seen happening. I mean, like, and I'll casually mention, like, oh, I don't know, cats going missing, or seeing
Yes,
weird, like,
barn
rodent
cats have been
things.
disappearing. Some crops have gone missing, and some people have claimed to see some shadowy figures sneaking around. Probably goblins.
I'd like to ask about the size, and if he has any names of people who could tell me more about those.
Um, they haven't really seen them. It's just like, that kind of like shadow, and you turn and there's no one there.
Okay. I still would ask if there was anybody who might know anything more about it, even if it is just somebody who's seen it a couple times or seen it at the corner of their eye a couple times and has gotten paranoid about it.
Um, no.
Okay. Well, that done. I'd like to go to the farm with everybody.
All right. When you get to the farm, you see a halfling male come out of there. Goes, "Hello there." He extends his hand. I'm Nasher. Um, Molly's had nothing but good things to say about you folks. Come on in. Molly was at the group there. She left
At the
early
town
because she
hall.
was worried about her son.
Well,
Um,
nice to meet you. I'm, as you probably already know, Aodhan, and I would like to do a round of introductions, and we're here to see what we can do to help.
that's wonderful. That's great. Uh, what did you say your passive insight was, Mir?
Passive perception is 17.
Okay.
My passive insight is 13.
Okay. You come inside and you see Molly, she smiles at you and she looks a bit tired to you, Lilita.
I mean, she's probably, well, I imagine that she's just been worried about her child.
Probably that's an
Even
option.
if she doesn't look it that much to me, I still imagine so, because I probably have seen that expression on my mother's face growing up.
So you're here to see a Garrett, and Cygnus kind of moves forward and goes, "Yes, I am a cleric. I'm hoping I can help him." And she leads you to Garrett's room. Boy is in bed. He's running a fever, and he appears to be having like nausea and tummy ache problems. And Molly's kind of at the door watching, and she's like, he hasn't really eaten much. He can't keep it down. He keeps throwing out.
How does he deal with liquids or stuff like soups?
A bit better, but he hasn't really been eating much. He's very weak now.
It might not be much, but if food and water are a concern, I do have rations to make nutritious soups that help with adventuring. So that might be enough to at least get some nutrients in.
Well, I can give you access to the kitchen, and we can see what we can make.
I mostly just boil mine, but if I'll pull out like one of my water skins and one of my rations.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if this will help, but at least it can be a start because it's fresh water and food that I got in my previous stop.
Yes, there has been some concern that maybe it is something in the water or the food here.
Do you happen to have any like peppermint or ginger? You might be able to make some kind of tea that could help keep stuff down.
My ration also has tea in it.
Of course. Tea is easy and fantastic because it's very well kept.
All you need to do is boil water.
I had to sneeze and I could not sneeze. My
you
nose
had a sneeze
tickles.
and whereby just froze with your sneeze for a while for me.
My nose tickles. Cygnus kind of looks over the kid for a bit and goes, well, I can try something. Might work. This is a normal disease or something. And he goes and touches the boy and casts Lesser Restoration. A couple of moments later, the boy kind of like starts blinking and goes, hey, pain's gone, Ma! And he starts smiling and he just like sits up a bit. And Cygnus is like, okay, just you still have a fever, you should probably take it easy, just that's good.
A cold compress, some very, very, very light foods.
And Molly kind of looks excited, but also takes the food that Lilita gave her and goes to the kitchen to prepare a meal, hoping that now he can keep it down.
I'd like to follow after and pull out a packet of peppermint tea. Listen, my mother probably wouldn't let me leave the Grove without stuff like that, so you know.
On the way there, you notice that the grub farm is called Grub Farm because grub is their last name, not because they grow grubs.
I know.
The area behind the farm is actually an orchard.
Ooh. What kind of fruits do they grow then?
Nasher is excited as you mention fruits, and they go, we're plum farmers.
Oh, Oh, were your plums the ones that they used for the plum pies? They were fantastic.
Yes. Well, yes. It's it's the funniest thing. Um, the my trees are now bare. The day after I caught somebody after my plums, Fairhole offers to buy all my plums for twice what he paid last year.
That's weird.
Right? Well, I mean, I'm not complaining. I bought the whole load, so that's good for me.
Yeah. It's a little out of character though, isn't it?
Well, I mean, he must have had a buyer or something because yeah, he was really excited about buying all my plums.
Has he done that with anybody else? Are there any other farms around here?
No plum farms. I'm the only plum farmer.
Okay.
You had mentioned seeing a creature.
Yeah, and he leads you out to the orchard and kind of points in an area. There's like tracks on the ground. He goes, "Look at those. Don't those look like goblin tracks to you?"
Karu, do they look like goblin tracks or zoog tracks?
Give me a nature check.
Nature and not survival?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
To look at least similar to what you saw at the beginning, the tracks going down into the burrow, into the hole in the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of gesture to Lilita and be like, "Don't these look like the ones that we saw at the edge of town?"
They might have. I just have a strange curiosity about something. And I'll rummage around for a small portion of my alchemist kit.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I'd like to test the soil for toxins or something that might prevent stuff from growing in the future.
Okay. All right. Give me an alchemist check. I suppose that would be intelligence.
Interesting. Whoa.
19.
Okay. Far as you can tell, the ground here is pretty fertile and nothing's going wrong with it. Looks like the fact that there's no plums on the trees is just because he did a
He did
sweep of
sell
them and
all
then
of them.
sell all of them to Luther Fairhole, the general store owner.
I was just wondering if a mass purchase, an out of character purchase or out of character mass purchase might have something to do with future knowledge that it might be the last harvest it could get.
Nasher kind of shakes his head. Nah, though I'll grow more. And I've got plenty of money now. But I mean, if you're really concerned about it or want to know more, you might want to ask Lutho himself at the general store.
No, it's just I've dealt with people that are in the past that have done things that are out of their character just because they know that whatever they're doing, there's no real repercussions for it just because it can't be sustained.
Hmm.
There was one other question that comes to mind. Did your child have any of the traveling merchants' potuses?
Um, no. No. The only one who's been having those is Molly. She keeps trying it out. Um, I convinced her it may not be good to give Garrett the potion just in case.
Has she been sleeping okay?
Now that you mention it, I don't think she has been sleeping very well.
Well, to be fair, part of that might have been because of the worry about Garrett.
I
Yeah.
just have some thoughts about what those might actually do.
Well,
It might be something that just prevents the body from resting properly, which could potentially be why she seemed rather drained. Although the worry of over a child also could be contributing to that as well.
You could
Yeah,
definitely.
she's been having some nightmares apparently too, but I mean,
Hmm.
with Garrett sick, that's probably just that.
Well, just keep an eye on Garrett, and if anything else changes, if he falls ill again or anything, just let us know and we'll see what we can do about it. We're gonna see if we can find other people who have been sick or maybe some who have recovered and see if we can find anything else out.
All right, well, good luck, and hope you find whatever it is.
I'm gonna turn to the others and be like, well, I guess we should get going. As
So,
we as
sounds
we
good.
leave, though, I am going to look at Cygnus and be like, so what was that you did?
Oh, the Lesser Restoration?
Mm-hmm.
What is...
What exactly does that do?
Well, it's a spell that can help cure a disease or conditions, certain conditions, like if you're blinded suddenly by magic or can't hear, or if you're paralyzed or poisoned. So if it's a poison or a disease or something like that, then that would cure it.
That would work, but it doesn't. Would it do anything for an actual legitimate sickness instead? Because disease is different than sickness. Poison too.
Um, well, I have seen it work for certain sicknesses that are considered diseases.
Okay.
So even if it was something natural, less restoration would help.
Okay.
That's why sometimes magic healers are in pretty big demand for places like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's much easier
Yeah.
to get over sickness if you have a magic healer.
Uh-huh.
Can't do those too much, but I can still do that a couple more times.
Okay. We didn't have that much in the grove. We had to rely on the harbor for that, but Grace was able to do some stuff. And we used a lot of herbs. A lot of herbs. I imagine that was a lot of what Aodhan wound up looking for.
Mm-hmm. Sent on missions
To go
to
collect
go
herbs.
collect herbs.
Yep, and granted, his mother was originally the one who did it prior to him, while his
Mm-hmm.
father went hunting, so.
Okay.
Alright, I'd like to ask around to see if we can find somebody who had recovered from whatever the illness was.
Well, you actually talked to one who did, because the sheriff came down sick, but
Oh, okay.
recovered. But he just had basically the same thing, just a fever
Mm-hmm.
and some pain, and passed after making sure he
Mm-hmm.
didn't eat any fish and all the other stuff that they're now avoiding.
Uh, I mean, it's quite possible we might want to at some point examine the creek, maybe take a water sample. I'm no alchemist, but if you have any idea how to do that, Lilita, we probably wouldn't. It probably wouldn't hurt too.
Yeah, I can draw from my knowledge.
Okay.
I'm not especially good at it, but I do have some skills.
I would also like to ask around and see when the cats started going missing.
Okay. Well, you leave the grub farm and you're just like walking down the street. You do notice that um, there's some kids that are kind of harassing a gnome that's got like a lot, like a backpack full of trinkets hanging from it, and the kids are like just a couple boys, like three boys, just harassing him and trying to like grab at his wares and stuff, and he's like, no, no, don't touch it,
Hey,
stop that.
hey, gonna kind of walk up and be like, quit that. That's rude.
The kids kind of stick their tongue out at you and kind of like stay away from you, but also like dancing around Tolan.
Yeah, I'm going to use my monk speed to kind of just get next to one of them and poke him on the nose.
He yelps and jumps back.
I'm gonna kind of wiggle a finger at him.
Give me an intimidation check.
I'm not very intimidating. It's probably more amusing than anything. The others are probably laughing at him.
Yeah, he just like sticks his tongue out at you and then just like runs off with the others, and they're all laughing and they disappear around towards the general store. And finally, the gnome kind of like sits down on the edge of the road and goes, "Oh, thank you. That was."
Sorry about that. Kids can be a bit boisterous and sometimes, well, more than sometimes, a little rude.
Rude's
Speaking
one
as though
thing.
I'm not actually still a kid myself. 17 is barely more than.
Rude is one thing, but you know, this is all that Luther Fairhole's fault. I bet he's paid those little rascals to harass me because he wants me out of town.
Why would he want you out of town?
'Cause I'm bad for his business. He just keeps saying that, oh, peddlers aren't real merchants, and he can sod off.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Peddlers bring more inventory for general stores.
I know, right? Look, it's got soap, spice, tobacco. Do you want some tobacco? Are you old enough for tobacco?
I don't. Hey.
Got some pots and pans, candles, scissors, trinkets.
Yokaro, I'd like to look at his wares and just see if there's anything that catches my eye as unusual or out of the ordinary for even a peddler to have.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 21. I'm the nephew of a general store owner. I want to see what could be interesting for me to get.
I mean, he's got some interesting trinkets.
Anything that are like tinkers, like wind-up toys or any of that stuff that wouldn't normally be available?
From a general store? Yeah, probably. Like,
I mean, because not to be speciesist, but gnomes are very generally good with tinkering things.
Mm-hmm.
And making clockwork things. So I'm like, I was probably looking at least a little bit for that.
Okay. Let me see.
Or like a little thing that produces a bit of fire.
He has this. He brings out this like little bronze box, and he presses a button, and a tiny little wooden owl pops out and goes whoop, and then disappears inside.
Oh, hey, that's cute. I'd like to buy it. Because I'm like, oh, maybe this will make Mom get off my back about being gone for so long.
Okay, sure. That's 5 silver.
Okay. Also, the Wand of Heartwood is something that can be used by clerics, correct?
Correct.
I'm gonna shove it at Cygnus and be like, hey, I found this a while back. You can probably get more use out of it than we can.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna explain more or less what I found out that it does.
That's an interesting wand.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, I mean, if you need it to help with all this as well, I'm sure it'd get a lot more use than just sitting in my pack.
Probably.
I'm also going to ask the peddler if he saw anything out of the ordinary or interesting. I know he's only been here for about 2 days, but
Well, I've been kind
don't
of busy
underestimate me.
dealing with Luther Fairhole and his kids.
Yeah,
These people are very nice for the most part, besides Lutho, who's a bit
mhm.
of a.
To be fair, he's probably not used to dealing with competition,
Yeah, he doesn't seem very good about it.
which is weird because this is a lot bigger than the Grove, and my uncle owned a general store, and every time a peddler came to the Grove, he would be like, "Stop here first, so we can talk business."
I'll have to go to the Grove next then, maybe.
hmm If you drop my name, he might actually even be able to give you a good deal.
What was your name?
Aiden O'Connor.
Aiden O'Connor. Alright, Aiden. Well, yeah, I might be going off. Uh, all this trouble here about the cats and stuff, and,
Yeah.
well, apparently I'm not welcome here.
Mm. Have you seen anything weird in a town like this? Like anything scurrying around?
I mean, yeah, plenty of scurrying around. Those
Well, I
kids have
I
been
mean
harassing
not the
me day
kids,
and night.
not the kids. I meant things that are not normally supposed to be in a village. Any creatures, any things.
No, to be honest,
Hmm.
I've been more worried about keeping an eye on those kids and making sure they don't break anything.
Yeah, yeah. Kids are brats, and I'm probably looking like I'm remembering doing something particularly bratty. Listen, I was one of those kids once.
Well, it is getting pretty late, so I'm probably heading back to the Tarnished Tankard.
All right,
Quick question before you leave, if you don't mind.
Yes.
What are your opinions of what was his name again?
pyrite.
Pyrite.
Oh, Professor Pyrite. I mean, he's a snake oil salesman. What do you want? It's probably just sweetened water.
I mean, it smells kind of fruity.
Well, there you go. Fruit juice. Selling fruit juice for miracle potions.
Eh, I mean,
How does Lutho seem to interact with Pyrite?
I
Does he
haven't.
have the same animosity as he does seems with you?
Now that you mention it, no, but he doesn't seem to have really interacted with him.
and to be fair, it sounds like pyrite is more of a niche salesman, and it's not stuff that normally and generally would be in a general store.
Yeah, to be fair,
So
he's
I
only
don't.
selling that elixir of his. Moonlight elixir. Hogwash.
I mean, yeah, it seemed kind of sketchy, but as long as it's not actually doing anything to harm, then people just need to pay more attention.
Yeah, well, if they're willing to spend coin on it, then
Well,
that's their own fault.
I mean, it's curious, and curious things attract people. We're
Yeah,
probably gonna try and figure it out.
and I mean, there has been a lot of people sick in the town, so I can see why
Honestly,
it would be attractive.
even with that, it's one of those things that maybe it could at least help with morale. So
Ah, yes, just
belief
thinking
is
that it.
also a
Hmm.
very belief is also a very powerful reagent.
I mean,
I mean,
I'd rather believe in the gods that can actually do things, but you know.
well, yes, but sometimes the gods, even if they can do things, won't.
Well, yeah, I'm no cleric. He kind of nods to Cygnus.
Like I said, we're gonna be taking a look at them, and I'm gonna gesture to Lilita and Cygnus and be like, they're gonna see if they can figure out what goes into them, as long as it's not harmful, and as long as it's just silly little things. I don't see that much of a reason to do anything over the top.
Yeah, as long as he keeps his business there. He's not bothering me, so I don't mind. And yeah, it is getting dark, and he just waves. Well, if you need anything, I'll be at the inn. Probably head out tomorrow.
All right, and I'm gonna give him the general direction of where the grove is,
Okay.
and also Princess Harbor. I want businesses to thrive. And
Oh, he's probably been to Princess Harbor because that's a bigger town.
Yep. Well, he had the quality of his stuff actually looked decent, right? Like
Yeah.
comparable to what could have been in a general store.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he had a different variety of what was in like my uncle's store. Even if it's the same type of product, it probably is a different like scent for that kind of stuff and all that.
Yeah. So you can see there, Prattle Creek is up above the Neblina Forest. So quite a trip down to the Grove, but
Yep. And I imagine he would probably avoid going into the Neblina Forest for it.
yeah, he skirts it. He's not gonna risk getting lost in the fog.
Yep.
All right, so where are you guys headed?
I mean, you said it was getting late, so I figured we'd go to the tavern as well and see what other information we can gather before going back to it the next morning.
Okay.
It'd probably be a good idea to get a room and set up and perhaps test that potion tonight too. Unless you have anything else you want to do as well, Mir.
No, I think the most I might do is a little bit of music for the hospitality we've received.
Okay.
Before we settle into our evening endeavors.
Alrighty.
All right, so you guys head to the Inn of the Tarnished Tankard, and the owner, a female halfling, kind of waves you guys as you come in. She's called Olo Ashworth, and she's all smiles and, hey, I heard you healed the Nasher kid.
Yep.
That's
well,
great news. Well, you're all a group, aren't you? Well, today you can stay at the inn for free then.
Oh, thanks.
Would it be all right if I played for a little bit?
Oh, go ahead. I'd love to hear it.
Hey, Karu.
Yeah.
Are there any normal tavern games, aka like a dartboard or anything? What? I don't know why you're giggling like that.
A dartboard, huh? Mr. Way of the Flying Dagger?
Listen, if Lilita wants to entertain with music, I can entertain in other ways.
I mean, I suppose you could. So what's Lilita playing?
I will find a comfortable spot and I will pull out my lyre.
Nice.
And basically it'll just be something calming and peaceful. If you've ever played the Dot Hack or the first batch of Dot Hack games, the Mac Anu theme.
Man, it's been a while since I listened to those. I used to listen to them on repeat when they came out. All right, cool. Give me a performance check. Not the kind of music you want to throw daggers around for.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh no, my mind is preoccupied by plans of alchemy.
Yeah, you're a bit distracted, but I mean, it's still good. It's just not like a stunning performance, but you know, people still seem appreciative, and you get claps in the end. No one necessarily like throws money your way, but you do get some appreciation at least. Yeah, and
I will do a flourishy bow as I finish and thank them for taking in my entertainment.
Ashworth approaches you as you sit down with where the rest of your companions are sitting, gives you guys food for the night. Well, that was really nice. I don't think I've heard something like that before.
It's what an old man I once knew tended to have play when he hired for gatherings.
Interesting.
It's mostly working off of memory.
Well, enjoy your meal. No fish.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
she leaves you to your devices.
I would like to ask where the creek is because we're going to be investigating that the next morning.
The creek. Well, she gives you directions, tells you the closest place would be near the old, uh, the old lake house. Lutho has a lake house, near the creek itself, and, he's actually just let, Nellie Nightjar stay there. Poor widow. Apparently, she just lost her husband and came into town recently.
Oh, when did
And
she come into
she's
town?
been staying there. Um, couple weeks. She's been here with her son, Gleb. Um, we've tried to make her feel welcome. Must be hard.
Yeah, losing somebody always is.
Yeah. I just hope it's not true that Lutho's, taking advantage of the new widow. She's so young.
I'm gonna kind of raise my eyebrows. Does that sound like it's something that he might do? He sounds like he's Well, Carter, what have we heard about him? I mean, aside from the fact that he doesn't like competition, sounds very almost possessive of his business.
Yeah, he has a thing for peddlers. Um or more like he does not like them. But well,
How's he gonna get new stock? He has to deal with some kind of peddler.
yeah, well, he just likes feeling important. He's always overdressed and got this silk cravat and that stupid or overly ornate signet ring of his. He thinks he's some kind of minor noble just because he's got a signet ring.
That's a bit silly.
I don't think
My
he
uncle.
means bad. I don't think he's a mean person, but
No, but
just a bit full
he
of
sounds like
himself.
he's a. Yep. My uncle would probably not be impressed at all.
Well, he does own the only store around here.
Mm-hmm. That's probably why. Oh man, can you imagine what would happen if somebody else built a store around here?
Oh, he would not let that happen. He would raise hell at the town hall.
Noted. And I'm considering who back in Prince's Harbor might be interested in building a store because I am a little shit. Pardon.
Uh huh. Well, good luck with that.
Hmm. I'm sure I have a cousin somewhere.
You probably have cousins here.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's a
Next morning we'll
halfling
have to find them.
village.
All right, well, I guess we'll listen around. I'll probably play a couple games with some of the other people in the tavern to see, just to build up a bit of camaraderie and maybe loosen a couple lips. See if
Mm-hmm.
there's any interesting gossip going around aside. And I'll probably see what I can find out about the widow as well.
Okay.
And her son.
Hey, thanks for the $10 donation, newbie.
Ooh, thank you.
All right. Well, not much that you haven't heard already. About the widow, yeah, she arrived about a couple weeks ago. Recently
So
lost.
before all the sickness.
Yeah, before all the sickness happened. Um, she's kept mostly to herself. But she's friendly enough, and people seem to like her. Have taken interest in her and her son.
Okay. Anything else about like the cats or about just anything gossip worthy?
Well, so far the Grubs lost all of their cats. Um, so that's the one that have lost like all of them, but it's just weird. But you get the feeling not many people take too much account for it. It's like, yeah, the Grubs lost all their cats. Big deal. I'm sure some barn cat's gonna wander in again. They're just cats.
I mean, once they claim a place as their own territory, it's harder to get rid of them.
Yeah.
All right, well, once that's done, I guess we'd retire to the rooms, and I'd hand Cygnus the other potion so that he can fiddle with it and see.
Okay.
So I'll just sort of go to like, is there a desk in this room?
Not a desk, but there is a table.
Okay, so I will just start to set up the my alchemy supplies. And then just slowly begin to prepare to distill and try to and sort of break down the components.
Okay.
And if possible, I would like to, as I'm preparing, I'll cast guidance on myself. And then as I begin, I'd like to use the Unearthed Arcana Empowering Reserve to spend 2 sorcery points to give myself advantage on the check.
Okay.
And that would just be Intelligence Alchemy Kit, correct?
Correct.
One more roll, because you have advantage, right?
Yeah. So a total of 18.
18. Okay. Let's see. Distilling it, you can tell that yes, it does have like the main like components. It has a base of water. It seems to have fruit juice in it. The fruit is most likely your best guess, especially after being in this village for a day. It's probably actually plum juice.
I think we found the buyer.
Okay. Would there be anything that like that'd be similar to caffeine within, or something like the world equivalent of caffeine in this?
I'm looking to see. Um, I know there's something else in it. I'm but I have to keep scrolling through content. There's definitely something magical. There's a bit of magic contained in this mix that makes pure alchemy kind of difficult, but you do know that besides the plums, there is sugar in the mixture and yeast.
Yeast. That's
What was the consistency of it like?
It's more of like a drink, so think like a juice. So
Okay, I wasn't sure if like with the yeast it might have been more like a yogurt drink.
yeah, no, it's more of a juice. The other component, and this one's maybe the one that you're most worried about, is blood.
what? That
Aodhan, this is very awkward. Cygnus, what chance are you able to determine, or do you know what the best way to determine what a source of blood would be?
I'm actually gonna look at Sir Cheddar in the meantime and be like, hey, can you detect any magic in this? Or what about identifying it?
I could identify it if it's
Let's
got
see if that
magic.
does anything.
All right, he's gonna take the one that hasn't been, brought
Touched
down to the main components and cast identify on it. And this is where I scroll even more for the effects of it.
I'd say I'm sorry, but
in the
I'm not.
meantime, Cygnus is like, I'm afraid not. I'm not a medical trained person. I honestly only pray to my God.
Are you able to commute or ask your god for any favors, for knowledge,
I've
or is
never
that higher in the clergy?
I've never really tried doing that. Are you thinking of what? Commune?
Commune or potentially intervention, because I forget which level he's supposed to, or that
Yeah, commune is
Cygnus is
something
supposed to be.
beyond his level.
So is
Okay.
intervention.
Yeah, commune is a level 5 spell. He does not have level 5 spells. He's actually the same level as you guys. He's a level 7 caster.
So there was blood, and then there was also a magical element still that I wasn't
there
able to
was
identify.
yeah, there was something magical about the potion, like the completed potion, that kind of makes it a bit hard to figure things out. I suspect there's also a bit like, I don't know if, how much did you roll? 18.
I had an
Total.
18.
Yeah, I think those are the main ingredients that you'd be able to tell from what you can get from an alchemist's kit. Oh, I know where it is. Okay. No, I think I have to extract a bit. Okay, so Sir Cheddar casts identify. Check the actual. Okay, so because this is a more of a potion than a necessarily magic item, he only gets partial information with the identify. But what he does get is kind of concerning, and he turns to you guys and goes, this seems to give nightmares if you drink it.
Oh, why is... Yeah. So we're gonna have to deal with him at some point. Gosh darn it. It's late, but first thing in the morning, we're gonna go to the sheriff and we're gonna go to Grub's house and be like, hey, don't drink this anymore.
Like with like sort of on like the desk or like a notepad, I'll just have scribbled down like the information that I was able to discern, as well as what Sir Cheddar was able to find before turning. It's like, I have a very bad idea.
Do you want to drink it and see? Because that was
I
kind
was
of the bad idea that I was considering.
previously used to detect poisons and such. I don't necessarily have that ability, but I am somewhat more resistant to magical effects. So we can try it and see if, well, no. It's that weird situation where you want to sort of follow up with what you know what to do, but you aren't quite able to do it anymore.
But anyway, we need to make sure to let them know not to drink it and not to buy any more of it. I don't think that we should confront him just yet, or even let him know that we're suspicious of that. But once we get a little bit more info, makes me wonder, even if he's not directly responsible for the sickness, if he's exacerbating it. But anyway.
Wasn't part of the information that several of those that had passed away had actually died effectively from exhaustion, from not sleeping well?
They had.
So you have the fear of sickness, and then you
the fear
and then you have this false panacea that prevents proper rest, which would be the natural, which would theoretically allow you to recover properly from and your body to fight stuff.
We should probably see if any of the people who died had taken this potion even once.
I'll nod.
And like I said, while we should let the sheriff know, we should also say don't drive him off yet. Because if he is involved in this, we're going to need him here.
These zoo creatures that you were worried about, those ones, do they carry disease?
Karu, did they? I mean, they honestly were just really trappers.
So... Yeah, they're rat folk, but they don't carry disease.
Yeah, the only reason that I was concerned about it was because we had just interacted with the two groups and then found both groups here as well in some capacity. It's not so much that because I actually liked the Zood. I also liked the cats, but...
Well, I was just wondering if the Zoods are working with pyrite and potentially brought in something that made people ill and was able to sort of distribute it. And then you have pyrite putting out this nightmare potion. If they might have potentially have been connected.
I'm tempted in a few days to approach Pyrite and buy another one of the potions. and just make an offhand comment about how well I slept to see how he'd react to it. Like I said, it wouldn't be now, but it'd be interesting to see if this person is in full awareness of what they're doing, or if they're just the distributor.
And if so, then we would need to, if he's just the distributor, then somehow we need to find out who he gets this, what his source would be for the rest of the components.
If he is connected to this in some way, shape, or form, I'd also like to drop a few things potentially about gremlins and somebody called the Master. Again, to see how he'd respond. But we'll have to figure that out later. So tonight, well, tomorrow in the morning, we just, you know what, we probably shouldn't even let the sheriff know just yet. Just tell Grub's wife to not drink any more of those potions. Check out the lake and the creek, test the water there, ask around a little bit more, see who bought the potions and how it has worked for them. If they were tired and having nightmares, I don't know, just get a general vibe.
Sounds like a good plan. I just need to clean up, and I'll start casting prestidigitation to start cleaning all my alchemy, all the alchemy supplies, so that
sanitize
there's
them.
sanitize, so there's no cross contaminations for future tests.
I'm like, actually, it's really handy.
Clean.
Yes, that's exactly how prestidigitation works.
Yes.
It helps when you lived with a wizard as if they're familiar for years.
Earl just takes offense at me snapping my fingers, apparently. He's like, why are you snapping your fingers? All right. And as you retire for the night, we'll take a break.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
I need to get a drink because I'm freaking hot.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Oh, I just got a message from my sister. Hello and welcome back. Alright, so. Are you serious? I'm gonna call her out. My sister just sent me a text message being all, hey, you haven't accepted my gift on Pokemon Go, so you should accept my gift so that we advance our friendship.
No, make her sweat it.
She's a bit obsessed with it right now because she's taking care of her new kid, so she's like home doing nothing but playing Pogo apparently.
Like I said, make her sweat it.
All right. Moving on.
Yes, please and thank you.
You all wake to a knock, 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 knock at the door.
Okay. Get up, make sure that I'm at least somewhat presentably dressed, and then go to the door. What?
You find Olo Ashworth looking distraught and kind of wringing her hands, and she looks up at you guys and goes, Mr. Belbin's been murdered.
What? Who?
The peddler.
The gnome?
His body was outside the inn. I went out and I found him there. I've already sent for Mr. Bulger.
Well, I'm putting on my my cloak, and then I'm kind of poking awake everybody else who may or may not already have been awake.
Yeah, no. As soon as I heard murdered, like I bolted upright. I'm still in my traveler's clothes and my cloak. I basically grab my stuff. Okay. Yes. Actually, I don't know what to do at this point. I'm ready for stuff, but I don't know what to do.
Well, we'll go and see what's going on. See if there's anything. See if we can meddle, because apparently that's what we do.
Cheddar's like, yes, we must investigate the crime scene.
Yep.
And he leads the way with Cygnus following, kind of looking around. It's like, no one else is getting murdered, right? I don't want to get murdered.
Don't worry, I'll stop him.
I wasn't expecting murders. I came here to heal people.
Yeah, same. I was not expecting murders either.
Alright. You go out and you find the body a short distance away from the entrance to the inn. He seems to have been stabbed as far as you can tell.
Okay. I'd like to see if I can determine the angle of the stab and how deep it is, so I could tell whether or not it was like a sword or a dagger, and what kind if I could. Because hey, I'm a dagger obsessed person.
Okay.
Though most of my daggers are under my cloak at the moment.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. That's a 10. I'm still waking up.
Yeah, and like he's got clothes and everything. From what you can tell, fairly recent. From someone not taller than him.
Not tall. That narrows it down, doesn't it? So
yeah, it narrows it down to like the whole town.
Actually, halflings are usually the same height, if not taller, than a gnome.
Yeah.
They're about 3 foot, which is the same height as a gnome.
Yeah, so it could have been someone about his size or shorter. It's kind of hard to tell.
All right.
What you can tell is that it wasn't like a downward strike from someone tall.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be more like, hey, because there's probably only a handful of people who are taller than him in this town.
Yeah.
Your lop-eared satyr friend.
Damn it. of all the times to not have that spell that Garm likes having, investigate or whatever it is.
Mm.
Clue.
Clue, yes.
That would have been fantastic here. Does it look like there were any footprints, tracks, anything nearby?
I will help and cast guidance on you
Okay.
as we sort of carefully look around at the body for tracks that lead away without disrupting anything around us.
And does it look like does it look like he struggled, or does it look like he was surprised?
It doesn't look like there was a struggle. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Would that be with advantage since Lilita is helping?
Sure.
Okay.
And then you have guidance.
Awesome. Not like I think I'll need it, but I'll roll it anyway. So 24.
24. You look around. It's kind of hard to tell in terms of footprints because you're in town proper and the ground here is pretty packed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the DM died of tickles to the throat. What you do discover, however, is a signet ring dropped near the body.
Oh, that's suspicious. I'm gonna kind of take... Oh, man. I'm gonna bandage up my hand a bit so that I don't, mess with it. And then I'll pick it up. Be like, huh. I'll look at... I'll look at Olo Washard, or Ashford, whatever, and be like, "Do you recognize this?"
You
And
hold up.
I already suspect.
She's she hasn't left the inn. Like she's standing at the door of the inn, kind of leans out, looks at the ring. Goes,
I'll come over and bring it to her.
She looks at
Won't
the
let
ring.
her touch it, but
goes, that's Lutho's ring.
yeah, I thought that it's definitely gaudy enough. I found it over there.
But
it's either... Yeah, I know. So once the sheriff gets here, we might want to... I mean, oh man, he has motive.
The sheriff is arriving now. He's kind of jogging up.
He has motive.
Who has motive?
Lutho, the general store owner. We
What?
found this near the body.
He looks
and I'm gonna
at the ring.
The signet ring.
That's definitely Lutho's ring. You say you found it by the body. He goes to inspect the body himself.
Right, It looks like it was, made by somebody who was around the same height, so that's pretty much the entire town. But Lutho has motive, although this is very convenient. If this was one of those really, really interesting crime novels, this would have been planted. It's just too convenient.
But why would...
He doesn't like peddlers.
He doesn't like peddlers, right? Why would anyone want to kill...
I don't know, and that's why it depends on how far he's going for it, and if there was anything else about this peddler here.
Well, I suppose we have to head over to Lutho's and see what he has to say for himself. Are you all coming?
Yeah, just give me 1 second, and I'm gonna just dart off towards the grub farm. Monk speed, so I'm just there 1 minute, gone the next.
Okay. Well, they start following you, because the general store is down the road. The inn is at 9, so above the grub farm.
Okay.
So
like I said, I went zoom as fast as I could towards the grub farm.
Okay.
Probably knocking
I'll just
on the
sort
door.
of have held up my hand with a finger up and sort of reaching out. I was like, oh, you're gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knocking on the door.
Okay, you knock on the door and a very tired looking Molly grub opens it. Kind of gives you a smile.
Okay, so firstly, I'm gonna hand her a packet of chamomile tea. Take this and drink it. Do not drink the potion anymore. That's not helping you sleep.
Oh, but it's a good potion.
Nope. Trust me. We had a look at it. It's.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh. Yep. If you want to just make sure, go a couple days without taking it. See how you sleep.
Alright, fine. I'll do as you say.
Just, and like I said, here, take some chamomile.
All
Make
right.
yourself some herbal tea, and then go to bed. And then I'm just gonna make shooing motions, and then I'm gonna be like, bye, and then zoom off.
But oh my, she just closes the door.
Aodhan is such a little meddler. I love it.
All right, you catch up as the rest of the party is going to the general store. It's still early morning, like sun is just rising.
Yep.
So
but
the
general store owners are almost definitely going to at least be in their store.
Yeah, it's not open, but you hear slight motions inside, and the sheriff goes up front, knocks on the door, and Lutho comes to open it. Oh, Sheriff, what can I do for you? And the sheriff goes, well, you can explain to me where you've been this morning. And Lutho kind of looks at the sheriff, looks at you guys. You still have the ring, or did you give it to the sheriff?
Oh no, I still have it.
Okay. Well, preparing to open my shop. What else would I be doing?
I don't know. Maybe going for a stroll?
Much too busy for a stroll.
Oh?
Why?
I'm just gonna kind of deliberately look down to where the signet ring would be on his hand. Because it looks like you might have lost something.
He looks down at his... Oh, are you talking about the signet ring?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you find it?
Yep.
Oh, good. Where was it?
It was by the body.
Sorry?
Yeah, you know that peddler that you don't like, and that you might have been encouraging the kids to harass a bit?
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Should leave town.
Well, he's not going to be leaving town in anything but a body bag.
Oh. Oh. He looks slightly frightened about that.
I'm gonna insight him to see if that's an actual legitimately or if that's more like an oh shit, maybe caught.
Give me an insight check.
Alright, let me turn off advantage because that would have been dumb. 13.
It's kind of hard to tell. He does seem surprised at the very least, and a bit on the nervous side. If you want to do 1 too, you can insight or Lilita.
Oh no.
Nope.
Okay. Well, it wasn't me. That ring was stolen from me 2 days ago.
Did you report it? And I'm just gonna kind of raise my eyebrows because that's normally the first thing that people who lose something or have something valuable to them get stolen do. And I'm gonna look at the sheriff and raise my eyebrows too, because that would be who Luther
No,
reported to.
I hadn't. I thought maybe, I was hoping maybe I had just misplaced it. But I haven't been able to find it for 2 days, so I was starting to think that maybe someone had stolen it. But now that you found it, apparently with a body,
Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is very suspicious, but it's also very convenient.
Listen, I didn't like the guy.
I know, and like I said, it looks to me like somebody was using that.
But I didn't want him dead.
Yeah, that's fair. Does anybody else in the town not like you?
No, everyone likes me.
Wow, modest, aren't you? Hey, Karu, so who in this town would I have been related to? Honestly, I almost want to say it might be him.
I mean, it's possible it's either him or
I'm
actually the one I could think of, there is another option unless you want to take that one. There's a Doc Toss Cobble who is like the oldest. Um, she's a female halfling that may be from your family, so like aunt or great aunt, something like that.
okay. I'm gonna roll a d2, and on a 1, it's him. On a 2, it's her. It's her.
The
Legitimately, and for real, would anybody that you can think of want to use something like this against you? Also, random tangent, but who was the one who bought all the plums from you when you bought them?
give me a persuasion check.
Oh, because this is not gonna go great. Like I said, charisma is my dump stat.
As Aiden's discussing, I would like to subtle spell fake glamour on myself.
Okay.
Nope.
It gives me advantage on charisma checks for the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
Nope. I'm not getting much out of him.
Yeah, no, Lisa was like, look, I did not kill anyone. And the sheriff is like,
I
well,
know.
okay, that's what you say, but for the meantime, I think we're going to have to take you to the jail until this thing is sorted out.
You need to understand that I wasn't asking about that because I thought you did it. I was asking about that to see if there was any other angle this could be played from. If somebody else were around who could have used this to their advantage to hurt your business or anything, or to hurt you, somebody who perhaps was snubbed, then we might be able to investigate there.
Lily, you notice that he looks nervous and kind of like looking, like darting away as Aodhan speaks, but he seems to like clam up, not wanting to say anything.
Is it the
Excuse
widow?
me, Mr.
Oh,
Luto.
sorry.
If you don't mind, there was something I did wonder a little bit about. It is obvious that you weren't fond of the deceased. What was your... But did you have the same sort of ire for Mr. Pirate? I was just wondering if they might have felt a similar situation.
Give me an insight check.
I'm absolutely watching to see if he reacts to that whole insinuation, and if so, how.
Okay.
Oh, it's more of I was asking it as more of a question.
Yeah, I just want to know how much you pick up about his reaction to the question. Okay.
19.
Show you want to give me yours, too?
12.
Okay. When you ask about the professor, his nervousness kind of spikes. He goes, "No, I've had no dealings with Professor Pirate."
It's a little bit suspicious how quickly you denied that.
I'm not trying to put anything on you. I'm just trying to make it so that if there are connections, that if someone was trying to frame you, that we can spread out what potential options there are for those that might have ire against yourself.
Give me a persuasion check.
Advantage because of fey glamour, correct?
26?
Okay. He kind of has a he collapses slightly, like you see his shoulders slump, and he kind of looks around again and motions for all of you to come into the store, so you're not like speaking outside. And once everyone's inside, he kind of closes the door. Okay. Look. I admit I did pay some of the local boys to intimidate and harass Belbin, but I did not want to see the gnome dead. And I don't think the kids would do that. I did I did buy the plums from Grub on behalf of Professor Pyrite.
Mm-hmm.
He paid me in gold coins with markings I don't recognize.
Could we see one?
I'm pretty sure there's something in that elixir. He warned me
Yes.
not to drink it. Though I was planning to sell the elixir once Professor Pyrite leaves town. He's
Don't do it.
leaving soon.
Don't do it. And I'm gonna look at the sheriff. Yeah, that potion gives nightmares.
Oh,
I'll
Yeah,
pull
absolutely don't
out
do
one
it.
of the copies of my notes. We distilled it last night, and what we say here should honestly not leave until everything is close to being settled. And I will hand the notes to the sheriff. These are the ingredients we were able to distill last night from a potion a potus that we purchased yesterday when we arrived.
he looks at the list. You see his eyes go wide, and he kind of nods. I'll make sure people stop drinking it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look at the sheriff.
Would there be a way that you could get them to subtly
I'll
stop, but
see
without letting Mr. Pyrite know?
yeah.
Where those that have been purchasing daily, if we can do something that could reimburse them to continue an act.
I'm gonna pull out a fair bit of silver at this point. Probably like 20 silver.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like, have those people who were buying before continue to buy on my dime. Just so he doesn't suspect anything. But make sure they know not to drink it.
Okay. I'm sure Lutho here will reimburse you for your trouble. Lutho kind of speaks up again and goes, there's something else. Those halflings that work for Professor Pyrite, I don't think they're halflings. They're not from around here, and they're definitely, yeah.
You know what we could do to see if we could have some of the people who go up to buy some of them start up a conversation in Halfling and see how they react to it.
That would probably work. Professor Pyrite had the halflings move the plums from my store to the lake house under the cover of night.
What? To the lake house? Where the widow is?
Yes.
Why would he do that? And I'm gonna look at Lilita and be like, yeah, we need to go to the lake house today.
Very much.
I'm not sure.
Out of curiosity, just because my mind's a little fuzzy at the moment on details, how long prior had the widow arrived before Mr. Pyrite?
It was a couple weeks, wasn't it?
A couple days before Pyrite arrived.
Oh, that's a lot.
Was she someone from the community prior, or is she new to the community?
She's new to the community.
And with the cats that have been going missing, how long since that started? Out of curiosity, it might be a random tangent.
It's kind of hard to tell. Cats go missing all the time. They'll leave and then come back because they go hunting.
Or at least in the larger numbers?
Because didn't Mr. Grub lose all of his cats?
Yeah,
That's unusual.
I think he noticed that like maybe 4 or 5 days ago.
And when did he happen to have? All right, who happened to have a cat that just had kittens?
That would be scrolling up for names.
Making you absolutely frantically scroll through everything.
I think that was Doc Tosscobble.
What? I'm gonna kind of pause. Caro, is Doc her actual name?
Yes.
Or is that...
No, she's not a doc. She's just called Doc.
Doc? Is she a very, 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 very old halfling who'd probably smack you with a ladle if you called her that to her face?
That's the one, yes.
Oh. I forgot that... Oh. And you can see that Aodhan is suddenly looking quite guilty. As if he might have called her that to her face at one point or another in his life.
Why, you know her?
She's my great aunt.
And you haven't gone to say hi?
No, you know what? She moved away like a year or two ago. Well, probably more than that. And I just hadn't remembered where she moved to.
Nah, I hope she doesn't have that ladle on hand when you get there.
Oh, she probably will. But it's okay, I'm a lot better at dodging now.
The sheriff turns to you all and goes, well, I do thank you for the help. I think I will be taking Lutho to the cell for zone protection as well. We don't have a proper jail here, it's just a room in my house. So, once you figure out more, then you can come look for me there.
Mr.
Right.
Luto, please just agree and be cooperative, because it would be really bad if anything came to blows and we ended up being on the opposing sides.
Lutho kind of nods. I just don't want to get I don't know exactly what's going on here, but it seems I've caught in the middle and don't want to be in the middle of any possible fights.
And I'm just gonna kind of hand the signet ring to the sheriff.
Okay. He takes it, kind of puts it in a, like he wraps it in a kerchief and puts it in his pocket.
One final question from me. Around the time that you lost your signet ring, did you catch any shapes out of the side corners of your eyes, or any creatures that potentially might have taken it from you?
Not really, though I have seen the 2 halflings that are with Professor Pyrite skulking about.
God, I'm gonna be real mad if it was those Zoog.
Like, one's actually the son of Nellie Nightjar.
What? Huh. That's even more suspicious now. Well, I guess we're going to the lake house. Is there anything else you can tell us about Nellie Nightjar? Since you are the one who's putting her up in the lake house?
Sweet young widow. seems to have been a seamstress before she lost her husband. Kid's called Gleb.
Does he seem like a troublemaker?
Well, like skulking around, like I said, and has been helping Professor Pyrite. Him and the other kid, Mutt, I think was his name.
How do you spell that, Karu?
M''Lut.
These do not sound like very halfling names.
What?
They don't. At some point, we are definitely going to have to encourage some of the halfling people around to strike up a conversation with Gleb and Mlet in halfling, actually.
You have Nellie, you have Tolan, you have Nasher.
Oh no, Nellie is fine. I'm talking about Mlet and Gleb. Those two are the ones who are like,
Alright, well, the sheriff goes with Lutho to the sheriff's house, which doubles as the sheriff's office.
Alright, well, I guess we're heading towards the lake house. So it's near the creek, too. Yep, we're going to be investigating the creek and then also the lake house.
Okay. So you go towards the creek, and it's fairly easy to find the lake house. It's near the edge of Prattle Creek Lake. As you approach, you can it's a pretty clear day, and you can actually see right across the lake to the other side. The cottage seems to be like a 2-bedroom small house, and it has a small what do you call it? Words.
Outhouse?
Not an outhouse, a shed.
Okay.
Behind the house. It's closer to like between the house and the lake. There's this like small shed.
Okay, noted.
Curtains. Seems to have only one door, and all the curtains have been drawn, so you cannot see inside.
Okay. So, Karu, is Doc Toscobble a bit of a busybody? Like my mom? Is she a people watcher and kind of nosy?
Probably.
Okay. So it wouldn't be unheard of for, after such a ghastly thing that happened, for her to send her great nephew, who was visiting. Oh, speaking of, gosh darn it. I was gonna say, before we actually got to the creek, we might want to touch base with her, if only to dodge the ladle now rather than later.
I will say one thing. You know that if you go there, you're going to be stuck there for at least an hour.
Yeah, we'll get her on the way back then. Yeah, you can see
She's not going to let you go very easily.
You can see Aodhan pause as they... Where is her house?
Let's put her... Probably that, like, smaller house there.
Which, I don't see what you're poking at.
That's because I'm on the GM layer.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. Oh no. She's close enough to the town hall and to the... It's the Tavern 9, right?
Tavern is 9, yeah. The inn is...
She's close enough to the town hall and the grub farm that she probably saw us.
Oh yeah. She was probably at the town meeting too.
Then why didn't she say anything? She totally would. No. She would have waited until we got to her, and then she would have been really mad that we didn't.
Yeah, pretty much. So you've got an hour of scolding, another hour of being treated to breakfast because it's still early enough in the morning, and then another hour of interrogation about what you've been up to and what your family's been up to and what you're...
And I'm gonna make sure to get as much of the gossip around the area, all the juicy tidbits about the widow and her troublesome son, and
Mm-hmm.
the dashing but kind of
Yeah.
skeevy looking
You're pretty sure
medicine
she's
shop.
also going to be like, so have you asked any of those girls out yet?
No.
The
Don't.
Crane girls, was it?
I hear that enough from my mother. I don't need it from you too.
So yeah, you go to the lake house first.
Yeah. Because we definitely would not have gotten out of that in anything under than 4 hours.
Alright, so yeah, you're at the house. You know that there's one entrance. You don't see an activity. You don't really hear anything necessarily from outside.
That's fine.
And if you
I
can hear the
imagine
crinkling, that's the cat playing with his toy.
I imagine that primarily first I would likely let Lily to get any samples of the creek water, if
Okay.
necessary, as I kind of like poke around.
I'll just get little vials out of the alchemy kit and just sort of take samples, cork them up for later.
Okay.
And then just sort of label what they are, or where the source is.
I admit the nosy little brat in me definitely wants to investigate the shed first before actually approaching the house and being like, "Hey, so we heard this, and my great aunt just wanted to send me here and make sure that you were okay."
Okay. Do you want to check out the shed?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
what's the terrain like around the shed? Is there like forest is it sort of like forest behind it?
it's between the house and the creek, so I'm expecting this to be like grass, maybe a bit of dirt. Probably a bit on the muddy side, just because it's so close to the water.
So I likely have put on my very, very, very soft shoes so that my feet don't get muddy, as much as I'm grumbling about it.
How difficult would it be to sort of sneak or try to position ourselves where the shed is between us and any windows or the door of the main cottage?
Well, the door of the shed would be within sight of the cottage. It's not facing the cottage, but it's like on a side, so it's not facing away from the cottage.
And you said the curtains were drawn.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so like I said, I'm gonna sneak around, and once I identify myself later, if she caught me by the shed, it would be like, "Oh, yeah, you're that nosy old witch's great nephew."
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Mm-hmm.
And is it just Aodhan, or is
I am going to buy myself.
I'll be quietly following as well, trying to be stealthy.
Okay, so
I'm
give me
gonna
a
buy
stealth check.
myself a reroll.
Okay.
So let me get to the donate screen, because doing it via the link does not actually let me do it with PayPal.
Well, you can roll it now, so I can narrate while you do that.
23.
Okay. So you sneak towards the shed, find that the shed is unlocked, sneak inside, and it's a small shed. And the inside you find bags, like burlap bags.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to investigate those bags. I'm guessing they're plums. If I'm lucky. If I'm unlucky, they're probably cats.
Do the quick question?
Yes.
Do the bags look or seem familiar or similar to the bag that the kittens were in when we first arrived?
Yes, but they're also generic
burlap
bags. So
the 50-50 chance of either or is pretty solid.
It could. Okay. It's a pretty generic bag, but yes, it is the same kind of bag the kittens were in. You investigate the bags. Most of them have plums. There's 3 bags of sugar and 1 bag of yeast.
Hey, those were the other ingredients in the
I will pull out my secondary copy of the list. Well, we have the water from the lake, sugar, plums, yeast.
Yeah, we're gonna go in and investigate this and see if she's making potions for him.
I will also prestidigitate the mud off of our feet.
Okay.
Ooh.
As you
I like
approach the
you.
cottage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to listen before we actually decide whether or not we're going to try and break in or knock on the door.
Sorry, what do you want to do?
I want to listen to see if there's any
Oh,
movement
okay.
inside.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 15.
No noise from within the cottage.
Okay. I'm going to look at Lilita and be like, well, I'm going to knock first. If we don't get an immediate response, then we'll deal with it as it comes.
Okay.
And then I'll go to the door and knock on it.
You knock on the door. You wait. No answer.
I'll knock on it one more time.
No answer.
Gonna check to see if it's locked.
You go and try the knob. It is not locked.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Lily to kind of flick a couple darts. Well, and my darts are actually probably really thin stiletto knives in hand, and be like, all right, well, here we go. And I imagine Cygnus is with us, just kind of like worrying in the back, and Sir Cheddar is probably bouncing,
Yeah,
excited
pretty much.
because we're doing things. Okay.
And if they try to argue that we invaded, we are doing a wellness check.
Oh my god, that token is so cute. Listen, it's adorable and I love it. And you're not going to change my mind.
Which one, Lilita?
Yes. I already had enough time to coo over my own token.
Alright, I want no comments about the fact that you've been in cottages like this one before.
What? You mean, like, the decorating is actually quite familiar.
Alright, so the front part of this place is basically just like a big parlor. The room is uncluttered, but pretty dusty. There's no one there. There is only a single door heading towards what you assume to be the bedroom area.
That's weird. I'm gonna look at Lilita and the other two and be like, be quiet. But this does not feel good.
Don't go too quiet.
Could I check as a state or underneath the because they're by the what's it called fireplace? There's that rug.
Mm-hmm.
Is that actually, would that be per?
There probably
the
is some
situation?
kind of rug. It's probably not the rug that's there because I think this is supposed to be a tanner's or like a hunter's cabin. But there's probably a rug of some kind in front of the. The rug does seem to have like a layer of dust on it. And you look under it and there's nothing there.
Could I quickly skirt around the cottage to see if there's a entrance to a root cellar?
No root cellar you find.
Okay, and then I return to the group.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna listen at the door over here.
Okay.
See if I hear anything.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 16.
You hear a faint sound coming from within on the other side of the door. It sounds almost like the weak cough of a child.
Of a child?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to very carefully open the door.
You start opening the door and you hear a frail sounding voice go, "Mama? Is that you, Mama?"
Oh no. I'm gonna real quick tuck my daggers away. And then I'm gonna poke my head in. No, my name's Aodhan. Who are you?
You hear another cough coming from beneath the cover of the bed. And hearing the cough, Cygnus also approaches.
I probably would be like, come on, inside. This is Cygnus. He's here to help with people who are sick.
You come into the room. It's has a full-sized bed. There's a rug and a chair, and immediately to the right of the door, there's a large armory.
You mean armoire?
Sure, armoire. I know how to pronounce that thing.
Because an armory is what you keep
Armoire.
weapons in. An
Yeah,
armoire is what you keep clothes in.
That thing. And yeah, there's someone underneath, a small halfling, looks like, is underneath the covers and coughing. And Cygnus approaches the bedside to see what's going on. And at that point, I need you all to roll initiative.
Yeah. I had a feeling it wasn't going to actually be a kid who's sick. Oh no,
Oh, no.
Lita. Well, I might have hidden most of my daggers, but doesn't mean that there's not one still in my hand. Are you gonna roll for the NPCs?
Hold up.
Or do you want us to?
I can do it.
Okay.
I just had to roll on different.
Oh, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
They really need to fix that bug.
Also, is there something else that needs to get rolled for as well?
Oh, that's why I had troubles rolling, because they're on the GM layer. Okay, so Aodhan, you're there looking around, and this is a surprise round, so none of you get to act.
Well, it's gonna be unfortunate when I do get to act.
Really should have decided what she was gonna do. Considering what you are.
What? Rude.
She is. Oh, okay, so that's not gonna do. Frick all. Okay.
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Great. Well,
now we know what we're going up against.
Cat's out of the bag.
And that's a surprise.
There were suspicions
I
had as a player as soon as there was blood involved in the potion.
What, it wasn't the nightmares? Yeah. You see a rather purple-skinned, demony looking old crone jump down from on top of the armoire at you, claws extended, which you would have advantage on the first one because she was hiding. Does a 12 hit you?
No. You probably see me batted away with my clawed gloves. You're like, huh? You really don't know how to use those, do you?
You're just fast.
Yes.
Okay, well that was her turn. Cygnus is surprised, Cheddar is surprised, and the halfling in the bed jumps up.
Yep.
And turns out it's not a halfling.
It's a dude.
And goes to bite Cygnus.
Rude.
He does have advantage, but he doesn't get a crit. So that's 6 damage for Cygnus. Poor guy just wanted to help. And surprise round is over.
Good. All right.
I'd like to use my reaction to cast Seer's reaction to reroll my initiative with a +5 bonus.
Okay.
It's one of my spells.
Hold on, can you do reactions on surprise rounds?
It was once we got back to the normal round.
You're right. Okay, because reactions are not on your turn. Okay, go for it. Roll.
So that'll be a 13.
Okay. I will change that. And that puts you right after the Night Hag. All right, Aodhan.
Well, okay. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit so that people can get in the room. And then I'm going to make this hag have a very bad day. So, Clawed Gauntlet. 25.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. 17. And could you do me a favor? Hold on, let me check something.
17
really
also hits.
Alright. Let me just check something really quickly because...
Cat is driving me nuts.
Oh, poor buddy.
Could you stop it, please?
Okay, so could you give me a Constitution saving throw, please? I'm gonna spend a point to make one of them into a stunning strike.
Con saving.
And the DC is 14.
19.
Alright, I'm gonna spend a second one. Do it again.
Of course. 22.
Alright. Then I'm gonna use a flurry of blows. 25.
Yeah, that hits.
Give me another con.
Oh my god. Are you just gonna dump all your key into this? 20.
Alright. 26.
Hits.
One more con.
Roll your damage.
9.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hold on. That shouldn't be a D4. That should be a D6 by now.
Okay, well that was a 6.
Okay, so she's stunned. So, hold on. Let me reroll the 2 damages on my unarms because they're supposed to be 6s and not 4s. Sorry. So the first one is an 11. Second one is still a 9.
Okay.
I'm gonna change that real quick. And that is my turn, and she is stunned, so haha.
Do your attacks count as magical?
Yes, they do, in fact, because I'm level 7.
Is that just your unarmed strikes? Not the Clawed Gauntlet.
Hold on. Unarmed strikes, yeah.
Okay.
If I see her resisting the Clawed, I probably would wind up bringing out my
Yeah,
my
she seems to be
scimitar.
resisting.
Okay, good. So then at the end of my turn, I will use my interact with item
To switch to your scimitar?
switch to my scimitar.
Okay.
And like I said, I am done. So she does.
Well...
Yes, can I help you?
Yeah, she can't do anything.
Uh-huh. Hee hee.
Lilita!
I will upcast at 3rd level Shadow Blade as a bonus action. And then I'll go up behind the Night Hag and I will strike.
You have advantage on those strikes because she is stunned.
Correct. 16 to hit.
Oh,
Misses.
Boy. Oh no.
That's unfortunate.
Okay, I'm all good.
Alright, so Cygnus doesn't like this. So turns out, I learned a spell.
Okay.
And he casts Secret Flame on...
Doesn't she?
Yeah, she
She
automatically fails that.
automatically fails because she's stunned. And that's till the end of my next turn.
Oh, just double check her. Okay, it's just resistances. Alright. Okay. He's like, oh wow, that actually worked. And Sir Cheddar is gonna get inside as well. And he's gonna go ahead and Ray of Frost the hag.
Ooh.
15 cold damage.
Oof.
Doesn't that one have...
I don't know what
Oh,
that
that's
one has.
speed. Speed reduced, which isn't gonna matter too much here.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Zoog doesn't like that the hag has been stunned.
Do you want to join her? I am a very stunning person after all.
He is going to aim his finger guns at Aodhan.
Okay. Ooh.
And Scorching Ray.
18 hits, nothing else does.
7 fire damage. And he looks very disappointed that he didn't get to hit you more.
I'm gonna look at him and kind of glare.
Your turn.
Okay, well, I'm gonna deal with the hag first. Also, how is she looking? Because she's...
You are right, thanks. Noob. Hags are resistant to cold damage.
They're resistant to a lot of things.
Yeah.
To be honest. Oh no! So the cold damage that my sword is gonna do. Well, it's only 1.
Yeah.
So she can't resist lower than 1.
No. She still takes the 1 damage.
Okay, well, let me turn on advantage because she's stunned and she's gonna regret that. So 17?
Night Hag, so scary until you stun her. 17 hits.
22.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so 8 slashing, 11 slashing. Give me a con save.
Okay. 19.
Alrighty, and then I'm just going to smack, crack.
Both hit.
Okay. And one more con save, please.
She's looking pretty rough.
Okay.
Con save 14.
That meets.
So she is not stunned.
Oh, that's fine. Well, no, she's still stunned until the end of my turn. I'm not done yet. I am gonna go and kind of dance around the side
Okay.
so that other people can get here, so stunning won't matter that much in terms of advantage. Although, actually, no, I probably would go over here instead. So that way there's at least one other person in between her and, oh.
That's...
Even better, there, on the bed.
Okay. Okay.
So that Cygnus doesn't get teamed up on.
Don't want to lose your healer?
Yes.
Alright,
Especially
well...
when she's next.
Yeah, she's next, and, she doesn't like you.
That's nice. I don't really particularly like her either.
Mm. Oh. Alright. So... Give me... Aodhan, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Alright, is this something that involves being frightened?
Uh,
Because I have advantage on those.
no.
Okay. This is not gonna go great. 5.
Okay. You fall unconscious.
What? How? Somebody's gonna have to smack me awake, because whoopsie.
You're luckily on the bed, so you have a nice soft fall. And the night hag smiles and goes, "That's better. Now for the rest of you." And she turns to look at Lilita, and Lilita, you see her eyes are like inky black now.
Quick question. What is the lighting like in here?
I'd say dim light. There's sunlight filtering in through the curtain, but generally it's pretty dark.
Okay.
Okay, your turn.
I will stab her with advantage. Because I
Yes.
am dim light.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh no.
That misses.
I am so sad. I am going to manifest my aura as a bonus action.
Okay.
So lightning begins to spark around me.
Interesting.
It is from the elemental essence sorcerer subclass.
Okay, what does
feature.
that do?
So basically, as a bonus action, I can create my aura. It's a 5-foot aura around me. And then while it's up, I can either impose disadvantage as a reaction, or if I've cast a spell of first level or higher, I basically can deal d6 lightning damage for things that end their turn or enter 5 feet from me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, for d6 lightning.
Okay. Cheddar feels his hair going on end.
Uh-oh.
I become very floofy, but it's all sparky and angry looking.
All right, cool. That is awesome. Cygnus is like, no, Aodhan, what,
Snore.
Aodhan? And he just like starts shaking you, Aodhan. What's going on?
Does that wake me up?
Yeah, he is gonna use his action to wake you up.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, grunt. What?
Sorry. Don't fall asleep.
Oh. Oh. I guess this fight was just so boring that I decided to kip out for a bit. And I'm gonna look at the night hag as I say that.
Night hag's just looking at Cygnus now. Cheddar doesn't really like the lightning. He's gonna go to the other corner. Just skirt around the... I guess that is a wardrobe. Anyways, yeah. So Frost didn't seem to work well, and
Take out this one.
Aiden's
gonna
he
point
wants
at the Zoog.
The Zoog? Okay. Sure. Now that you're like prone because you just woke up, he's going to try to get rid of the static in his fur and cast Thunderbolt at the Zoog.
Thunderbolt? What is that?
1.
Wait, is that a cantrip?
It is, but it doesn't scale.
Oh, it doesn't scale.
There's a bunch of Kobold Press cantrips
Yeah,
that don't scale.
That's... What does it do anything else?
It can't. Yeah, if it hits the target, can't use reactions.
Oh, okay. That's silly. That
It's a ranged version of Shocking Grasp that doesn't scale.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah.
I think that's why they made it not scale, because like, yeah, Shocking Grasp is the one that does damage, but this one can be done at 30 feet, so you don't have to be right beside them.
Okay.
Alright, well, he has no reactions. He doesn't like this. He really doesn't like Cygnus. That's Cygnus, not the Zoog. What? 4. No, that's gonna take up his turn, though. Man, this guy doesn't have much besides, like, Scorching Ray.
And disadvantage on your house.
And disadvantage because he's in range.
Melee.
Oh, I know what he's gonna do. I need the whole party to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Would this be a magical effect?
Yes.
This is not gonna be fun.
21.
5. I swear to God, if you make me go to sleep again, I'm gonna be real mad.
So Cheddar rolled a 10. And Cygnus...
Does the night hag have to as well?
No. That's
This
a
bitch.
choice. Oh boy. Alright. So Lilita passes, everyone else does not.
Uh-huh.
So everyone else takes a -2 penalty to AC and dexterity saving throws, and you can no longer use reactions.
Do we get to re-roll our save at the end of our turn?
Yes.
Might I recognize this spell?
You can also only take either an action or a bonus action on your turn, not both.
Oh, fuck you!
You probably do, because you said you don't like transmutation spells, which probably explains why you saved.
Well, no,
How did he cast that?
I saved because I have magic resistance for my race. But that portion changed because I realized that one of the spells that I use ended up being transmutation because prestidigitation's transmutation's like, I won't use transmutation. It's like, nope. So it changed to I sleep in the same fashion as I was when I was a familiar. Okay. So I sleep like a cat because I was interested.
Amazing. I love that. Okay. Well, yes, it's slow.
I didn't realize that could affect several creatures at once.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It's a box.
It's a 40-foot cube, and you get to pick who is affected. That is a scary spell. I always underestimated how powerful, slow is. So yeah, that lowers everyone's AC and everything, and casting spells is going to be a problem. So he looks all smug as he goes into the corner because no one can take reactions. And Aodhan, you have 1 action or 1 bonus action you can do.
Yes. Well, I'm standing up first, kind of spitting at the hag. And then, since it was... You said she was looking rough, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take my action. 18 and 24.
Well, you hit her twice.
Okay. Hey, guess what? I have 1 more key point. Give me a con save, please.
18.
This bitch.
All right. She doesn't like this.
Yep. She's looking very, very bad, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She's gonna cast Plane Shift.
Hold on. Oh, damn it.
No, he does not.
Anybody have Counterspell?
Unless, yeah. I was gonna say, Lilith is the only one that can cast reactions right now, because the rest of you are slowed. So she takes out a metal rod, bangs it against the side of the bed, and disappears.
How does she... We're not even 10th level casters. Plane Shift is a...
Yeah, she's a night hag. and she's not staying to die. As she disappears, the zoo that's in the corner that was all smug because he was behind her and everything.
Goes, oh fuck.
Yeah, looks kind of panicked. Goes, oh no.
Yeah.
And I am just flickering with lightning and anger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I will come over, and I will. I will stab it.
Okay.
Hey, Karu. I forgot. I could have made a saving throw
True.
at the end of my turn.
Go for it.
21. I don't have advantage, but
So you are no longer slowed, which means you have reactions.
yeah, but I don't have like Mage Slayer,
Yeah.
which I might get.
22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
19 psychic.
Ooh. Okay. That hurt.
He has to make a con save.
Yeah.
Concentration.
It's true. I'm just moving his HP bar so I can see it. Concentration check.
DC 10.
He does not have disadvantage, so that's a 22. So he still retains concentration.
Oh,
I will then quicken spell to shocking grasp as a bonus action.
Okay.
Zap.
Is a shocking I can't remember. Is that one a save?
No,
It's a roll to hit.
Roll.
19 to hit.
19
For
hits.
6 lightning. I forgot to turn my my toggles off.
Yeah. Con save 21. Man, he has pretty good rolls for his con save. That was a 19 on the die.
Yeah, and a 20 on the other one.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. He's.
And now my zappy aura can do stuff when it ends its turn within 5 feet.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be difficult for him to get out of that.
Okay, so Cygnus has an action.
I mean, it's not like we're actually hurt, so he can totally just like toss Sacred Flames or whatever.
He could. He still has to. Let me double check this. There's something about spells for slow. Creature times casting time of 1 action, roll a d20. It might take one extra turn to cast. Is the big thing. Actually, Cygnus is going to talk really slow because of the slow spell. But he goes, you should probably give and that's about as much as he gets in 6 seconds.
That's fantastic.
And then he saves. Alright, Sir Cheddar, can you
How does he not have wisdom saves?
He does, I realized afterwards. So that's another plus 2. Do you have something I can use?
I mean, don't you have Quicken Spell? Oh, that's a bonus action.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, you can make it into a bonus action to cast it.
He's gonna cast Charm Person. So let's see if it actually goes off this round.
Is that? Well, you could also spend sorcery points to make it a bonus action, and then just subvert slow.
That's true.
And he's a high enough level caster that he'd know that.
Oh, he doesn't have that. He has Extend and Twinned.
Oh, he doesn't have Quickened. Oof.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so 3 means it goes off.
Yay for your roles in this situation. This is the best thing. This is the best situation for you to roll in.
I know. All right, so that is a Wisdom saving throw for the Zook. Oh.
That's okay. I'm about to beat him up.
He's not charmed.
It's fine.
He tried. Oh, Wisdom save for Sir Cheddar. Yep. He's no longer slowed.
It's like 1 turn.
Yeah, 1 turn and the slow is gone and he is cornered. Everyone has Oh god, I know what he's gonna do.
Is it going to be something unfortunate for himself?
I want to double check something.
I don't suppose I could try to make it look like I'm still under the effects of slowed.
A bit late for that.
I know. Hey, a little slow, huh?
Oh, actually, I didn't cast. It was a cantrip, not first level, so I don't do zappy damage.
Okay. He's gonna try it because he's not sure if this is gonna work. He is going to cast invisibility on himself. So he's like, bye! And pretends to poof like the, witch did.
Yeah. I'm gonna step.
Wait, before your turn, he does get to move. So you hear, like, pitter-patter of feet as he starts...
If he's running, we still get to take attacks. It's just a disadvantage.
Correct.
That's 27 hit.
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh. By the way,
18 also hits. Oh no.
Well, that had to do disadvantage for
I have advantage, which brings it down to a straight roll because we're in dim light.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you maxed all your damage.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh no.
so he takes like 2 steps and both of you just aim for between you and he reappears unconscious on the ground.
Yeah, I probably would have been trying to aim to hit him with the flat of the blade instead of actually like doing.
I did no physical damage. I blew up his mind.
Uh-oh.
I mean, yeah.
Shit. So he's probably actually dead, not unconscious.
Yeah, because she's just incredibly upset with the entire situation.
I'm gonna look at Cygnus and be like, don't waste spells on this thing.
Are you sure? He might be able to tell us stuff.
Does anybody have a way to prevent him from casting spells? Actually, you know what? I'm going to take out some rope.
You have 6 seconds before he dies from the psychic damage for a cure wounds to actually...
Do it, and then as he's doing it, I'm going to take out rope and tie his hands in such a way that he can't make gestures.
Well, he's not very worried about healing too much.
That's fine. That's
all right. So
okay.
Yes, before he dies from massive psychic damage, Cygnus goes and heals him just enough, and the Zoogs kind of groggily wakes up from falling on the bed.
Just as his hands are tied, so he can't make gestures.
Yeah. He looks around and goes, "Oh, okay, ow."
And then suddenly a dagger is also at his throat.
Quick question. He would be, like, in the next room, correct? Because they would have triggered the attack of opportunity because that position doesn't have it leaving my threat range yet.
Oh, that's a good point.
It has to exit the room.
Actually, so the problem is the 12 damage that Aodhan did was already enough to down him.
Okay, then we just ignore my Shadow Blade then.
Yeah, he had 12 hit points left, exactly.
That's fantastic.
So Aodhan just knocked him out before he left your range. So yeah, your Shadow Blade would not have come into effect. Which means, yeah, I mean, he could still get a bit of healing to wake him up if you want, or you can leave him unconscious.
But then we wouldn't have had to do it in 6 seconds, so I would have been able to tie him up proper.
Okay, so he's tied up.
Spare the dying.
I mean, he's unconscious, so he's not going to die.
So it stabilizes him.
Yeah, but
he regains 1 health in D4 hours.
Okay.
So we have that. So we would have that flexibility of the leisure of tying him up properly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The big question is, do you want to wait 1d4 hours?
No.
It's also my turn, not for a while, so.
I mean, Cygnus would still wait for him to be tied up to heal. It's more of, do you want to spend a first level spell slot or not to wake him
Well,
up?
spare the dying's cantrip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can spare the dying to heal him in 1d4 hours.
I mean, could we like slap him awake?
I mean, sure. Why not?
Okay.
We'll use spare the dying so that you don't use up Cygnus's spell slots.
And I'm going to make sure to slap with the front of my hand instead of the back of my hand, just to make sure that I don't accidentally claw him.
Okay.
And kill him, because whoops.
All right, so he's at 1 hit point. Basically, we'll kind of hand wave the whole spare the dying thing, but he's properly tied up on the bed by Nan, and he looks up at you all. Please don't kill me.
Now, why would we do that? Are you gonna talk?
Yep, sure.
So why was that hag here making potions to give people nightmares?
He was working with Professor Pyrite.
Mm-hmm. And why was Professor Pyrite here?
I don't
What?
know. They were just making the potion, and then she does her hag stuff. And eats people's dreams, I guess? I don't know. I'm just a hired hand, okay? I was just paid to do stuff. Professor Pyrite was paying me.
Really? And I'm gonna kind of lean down. Does Vox Kavarian know that you're here?
No.
He's absolutely going to.
Why? Look, I'll tell you everything. I'll even tell you where the cave is. Just
Cave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna look at Lilita. I think we need to take some notes. And then I'm gonna just sit down and grill him for all the information he's got.
I'll quickly search to see if there's any paper pads, because I was using the inn's paper pads for the notes from the alchemy. But are there any paper pads or anything like this in the building?
Yeah, there probably is.
So I'll gather up all the paper and ink and all that so I can take notes.
Okay. So first of all, I'm guessing you pat him down and take anything he has.
Yes. Uh-huh, absolutely.
He has a dagger that looks pretty fancy and has Cheddar
it's already
jumping up and down.
Cheddar, identify, and then it's mine.
He just like plops down on the ground and starts casting identify.
It's at, you don't have to ritual cast it. It's at
I know. But he still plops down to cast it.
What is it? Oh my god, it's a dagger.
I don't like this dagger.
What is it?
It's a bad dagger.
What is it?
It's dagger venom.
Oh! Very delicately, I'm going to make sure it's sheathed, and then I'm going to tuck it into my collection. Listen, do you even know?
But it does bad
I know
things.
It does. It does poison. I know.
Yeah.
If you handle it properly, it's fine.
So it's a +1 dagger. You can use an action to cause thick black poison to coat the blade. Poison remains for 1 minute or until you attack. And does 2d10 poison on a DC 15 con save.
Oh man. Thank you.
He also has a pouch with some silver and 6 gemstones worth 50 gold each. And a silver moon pendant.
Could you just plop that in text? Also, this is the first weapon that I actually would really use. I mean, the scimitar, yeah, because it had to be a magical thing, but I'm probably gonna lead off with this weapon.
Okay. Well, he admits to the crimes that Pyrite made him do, including the murder of Tolan Bilbin.
Okay. Hey! Oh. Didn't even think.
Yeah, it was me.
Aiden's gonna sigh.
He made me do it. I was just following orders.
And why would he do that? To
I don't.
frame?
I guess.
That's weird.
Um.
Is he responsible for the sickness as well?
Oh well, kinda. That's the oat you.
The OU? What?
Yeah, he's having the oat you kind of you make the acre from the oat you go into the lake. That way people get sick and buy his elixir.
Kurt, what is an OU?
Trash compactor monster. It's the monsters that are used to eat. They are used to eating trash.
It's a walking tentacle eating monster-y thing.
Yeah. You've fought those pretty often.
Where? So where is it? Is it actually in the lake? Or
No,
around
it's
it?
in a cave near the lake. I can take you to the entrance.
Is the professor a spellcaster?
Yes.
That's what I figured. Is he doing this on his own, or is he working for somebody else?
Do you know where she would have gone when she fled?
Oh, away. Yeah, but honestly, plane shift. She's likely, at best, in the Shadow Realm. Shadowfell. Alright. Well, gosh. We're gonna have... Yeah. I'm gonna look at Cygnus and be like, we need to get in contact with the sheriff, although I don't think that bringing this one into town would be a good idea. Do you have any way to do that remotely? I'm gonna look at all the casters, because everybody is a caster except me. Okay, do so. Update him with what we found so far. I don't want him to approach the professor on his own. I don't think he's strong enough to take him. I'm gonna look at the Zoog and be like, is the other halfling that was her masquerading as her son actually is... Oh, okay. Who is Mlut? You know, you're gonna take us there, you're gonna help us, and if you're lucky, I will just bring you back to Voxkavarian and have him deal with you. Or, if
What's
you don't
happening with
cooperate...
the cats?
Yeah, their blood, the reagent. Oh, you are so lucky. I'm so tempted to just punch you in the gut and knock you out and not deal with you right now. I'm so mad right now.
I had stopped sparking in that, but I am just bristled with fury.
Yeah. If you're... You know what? You know what? And I'm gonna lean in. I might, if you are unlucky, just take you back and hand you over to Delaney instead. Squint. God, I'm so happy that those people are coming up again. Maybe I'll let them both decide what to do with you. Oh, no, they're not. We took care of that. Something tells me that's the only reason that you got away with this. As long as you did. People have died because of this thing, you know. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna punch him, knock him out. Heft him over his shoulder. Alright, let's go. Well, see, that's the thing. We either go to get that cave, or we go to get pyrite.
Ooh.
Okay. Well then, punch. Heft him over his shoulder. Be like, no, but it felt good. Listen, they were killing cats and using them in potions.
To kill people.
I'm being gentle right now. He was being paid. Yes, I know. Night hags.
How vengeful are night hags? Because that one sort of knows our looks. At
Well,
least mine, because I am very unique.
shrug. Yeah, but I don't think she'd go out of her way at this point. Yet. So, let's go. Let's get pirate. I knew that the guy was fucking shady. Even before the fucking nightmare potion grumble. So, I'd probably would have Cygnus use sending to alert the to update. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you have 25 words for sending.
Yep. Yep. Dump it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, could we drop him off somewhere along the way? Or would that slow us down even more? I mean, I know we'd have to. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm gonna. Then we
I have
All
I
right.
have a hammer and pittons. We can just pitten him to the ground
Yeah,
because you have a very good tie on him, correct?
Yep. I was gonna say make sure that he's tied extra super duper tight, so that he can't cast spells or anything. Gag him too. Mm-hmm.
And you sort of see Lilita every now and then with like her pigeons, sort of putting it over like the foot to sort of pin that, and you're like, no, no, no,
Mm-mm. I
to
mean,
keep her.
no, because that would kill him at this point. That's getting it off lightly. We're gonna be taking him back to the Dreamwood at some point.
Okay, I'll trust your word.
Because it's gone. Yeah, I figured. Well, mhm. Okay. Yes, very carefully. Daggers out.
I'll stay about 25 feet back.
Oh.
With a quick glance around, do I catch any glimpses of any other anything that could potentially be hiding or hostile? I will dart forward towards the meowing. I'll pull off the rocks and open the bag. Or the canvas. I'll take the canvas off.
Hungry. Can't get out. I'm gonna look at Cheddar and be like, Sir Cheddar, if you wouldn't mind.
I'll carefully hop down
Oh,
and
I was
I'll
gonna
call
say,
up.
let's. Oh,
Would you like me
sorry.
to? I'm just going to start passing cats up to you,
Okay.
and I'll carefully start passing cats up to the others.
The funny thing is, I'm the one who could probably jump back up. Mhm. All right, I'm gonna make sure that Sir Cheddar has speak with animals so that I can have a translator. I'm going to update the cat on what's going on, Inc- including that there's a Zoog by the name of Gleb back at a lake house that needs to go back to the Dreamwood and have Vox Kavarian and Delaney decide what to do with it. Hey, remember, this one was not acting under the orders of K-Vox Varian. And honestly, I get the feeling that this will be a nice bonding moment for Delaney and him, trying to figure out how to best punish this one. Before he leaves, I will warn him that there is somebody about who was dealing with a night hag, and that's why the cats were being captured. And just warning to be careful. And if somebody could get to Raven, so she could update everybody who really needs to know, that would also be nice.
Cheddar, quick question. Can you ask if they will, our black cat friend will come back? Because I can give them 2 copies of the notes that we were given by the Zug that they can take back with them as part of evidence, if that would help. I'll sit down and start scribbling out or start writing out in Sylvan, translating all the common into Sylvan, figuring that that's what would be more appropriate for the Feywild.
I love that cat. I love those cats in general. Oh. Oh, neat. Yes, please. Nice.
Okay.
Okay. I take it it's very faint because otherwise people would be drawn to it and be like, what the fuck is this? Pardon. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Well, since the medicine show wagon is obviously gone, I say we sit down and rest a little bit before we deal with it. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, but where would he go? Because we still have to deal with the Otuk.
It was in a cage, so
Hmm?
the Otik was said
All
to
right.
be in a cage, so it's not like it's going anywhere.
All right. Well, then let's go and try and find him. Well, is that where we think that the okay. Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, considering that if one of us has dark vision, I'm just going to poke the I know I'm unnecessarily poking it, but poke the circlet and say open to turn on light.
Unfortunately, I don't have the ability for dark vision just yet. Headlamp?
So, oh. Shh. I'm gonna look around. Car, does that look like a spider web? Like a... Okay. I'm gonna back up a step and be like, all right, let's deal with this. And then I'm gonna flick out a dagger and cut it down.
Would fire have worked better?
There might have been something alive but not hostile in it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I almost get the feeling this is gonna be Mlit. I'm gonna carefully approach with a dagger in hand. You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna get that close. I'm gonna use my dagger throwing ability to chuck daggers at it to cut it open that way. No, I meant to cut around the edges, like to cut around the fabric of, or not fabric, the silks. I'm not trying to stab them. All right. Firstly, is it actually a human-shaped body? Humanoid. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna sigh and I'm gonna carefully start cutting it open. But I'm keeping one hand free with another dagger just in case there's something I have to attack in there. But I have a feeling I know that. Mm-hmm. All right. Um, I'm gonna look back at Cheddar. Hey, before I touch this, do you want to check to see if there's magic on it? Okay, I'm gonna take out a pair of gloves. Well, a full pair of gloves instead of the half gloves, and put them on so that I'm not actually touching it, just in case there's contact poison. And I'm gonna open the envelope. Uh-huh. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna roll my eyes. And then I'm gonna read it out loud, but I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm not. Mm-hmm. Well, let's keep going. Oh. Yeah, the one definitely has the Otiuk in it. Uh, hmm.
How soft is the floor? Okay, so there's no way to tell if a cart was brought in or not.
Because a part of me wants to use my monkness to scoot around the other path and see if there's anything down that way, but then I'd be away from the rest of the party. I am gonna kind of sneak a bit just to see if there's anything.
And your light shines on a web, like a wall of webbing blocking the passage further that way.
Yep. Anybody want to use a little bit of fire to get rid of it?
I'll toss a firebolt.
Okay.
I have a feeling there's gonna be a spider on this, but whatever.
All right. So you toss the firebolt, and it's a pretty thick web, so it looks like it's going to take more than one firebolt. And
I'll just toss a barrage.
I'm gonna look around to see if something's gonna be attracted by that.
give me a perception check.
I'm also gonna give the rest a heads up and be like, there's probably a spider around. And I mean a big one.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 14.
Oh, good. At some point, my mic lost
Desynced?
but it's on right now.
Weird.
It must have desynced and then synced. Whoa. Okay. Weird. Okay. 14. All right.
Like I said, I would have mentioned it to the rest of them too.
As soon as the first bolt hits the webbing, and Lilita goes to cast another firebolt, you feel, you hear movement behind you, and look back, and the light of your magical light shines on a lot of beady eyes. And you see the spider that is sneaking up on you very badly because I rolled a 12.
Oh man, are you kidding? Wow.
It had a +8 to its stealth check.
I know. That's why I'm like, how are we not in a surprise round now?
Yeah, you're not in a surprise round because you specifically said you were looking for it behind you, and it was coming up behind you. But it is also 9:08. So we're going to stop there, and we will continue next session with the battle with this spider.
Oh man. Well, thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, thanks for the donations. Thank you so much, Mir, for the 150 Canadian at the beginning of the session. And also thanks to Noob for the map, because this map was made by them. I was like, I need this map for today. What do I do? And they were like, I can help. And I was like, really? And yeah, so we'll see the rest of the map next time.
It looks really good.
See you next week.
Good night.
And my mic also got desynced again. Weird. I must be pressing. Okay, whatever. Anyways, good night and see you tomorrow.